Hey, what's up, squad? It's Suzette Speaks. I'm happy that you're here. We have a very interesting program for you today. I have a wonderful, fantastic, I can't even tell you how many adjectives I thought of before I started, but I'm thinking of all of the wonderful ways this wonderful subscriber has blessed my stream with his presence in my comments, in my chat. And today he is going to tell all, because you guys remember during my interview with the lead attorney himself, at the end of that interview, I was rapping with and talking with a lot of different folks from around the country. And this gentleman stepped forward and had the most interesting story I'd ever heard of. He started to talk about how in the world he had a vision from God who confirmed for him directly in living color who his wife would be. And I was like, hold up. How we got here, though? How we got here? So y'all remember, it was so juicy. I was like, no links. You got to come back for your own show. So today is the day, y'all, where Links comes and lets us know his story, shares the intimate details of how he says divine intervention played a large part in him selecting his wife. Y'all believe it? I believe it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to get into it. Let me welcome my people. I see you in the chat. It's been a wonderful day so far. I hope your day has been going great. I'm not going to start until I see some subs up and I see some likes up. That's what they told me to do. Start getting you guys used to that. But I'm excited for those of you who this is your first stream. I'm Suzette Speaks, y'all. I'm excited that there are so many of you already. I saw the comments coming through. Some of you even DM'd me questions for links. But yeah, we have a community going on here. And as you guys know or may not know, first of all, welcome. Suzette Speaks, TV host and attorney from South Florida. I represent for the 305. That's why we try to start at 305. I love helping empower people to become the best versions of themselves. That's what this stream is about. The Suzette Speaks show started in October of this year, and I've been trying to mix it up. Y'all let me know that there's a lot of men watching. So we have a gentleman today that I know his story is going to change some lives, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're looking, whether you're not sure you want to be married, whether them girls tripping, whether them men, everybody got a story, whether we feel, that we can relate directly or indirectly. There's always some little gem that you can learn from someone else's story. So that's what this channel is about. Y'all drop some comment, hit the like button. For those of you who don't know, and this has been your first stream, I want to welcome you. I'm going to change my chat setting. They encouraged me to change my chat setting to subscribers only. So get ready. If you're not a subscriber, we need to become one today. So we're not doing no voyeurism right here. We're doing the subscribe and openly support your girl. So please go ahead and do that as he waits in the wings. He and I spoke briefly. I said, yo, Link, save it, bro. We want the people to get the real deal. We want the people to understand your experience from your mouth. And I'm going to be experiencing his story, the second half of it or more of it, just like you are for the first time. So if you missed that stream, don't worry. We're going to take him from the beginning when he laid down and saw a dream. Anybody had a dream like this where God spoke to them directly in a dream? It's in the Bible. I know it still happens. But it was just so unique when he first came on, was talking about how he saw his wife in a dream and what the dream looked like and how he could feel it and all this stuff. And wait, we got to take it from the beginning. I'm not going to give it away. He got a story to tell y'all. Come on, drop them, drop where you're from first and foremost. Hey to my wonderful chat. I see you busy already. Hey to the folks watching from around, sub now, because I'm going to change the chat to subscribers only. I'm not playing with y'all. We doing some good work over here, but we got a lot of people in and out, dipping and dabbing. We got to show commitment. Hey, lady, what's up? We gonna show commitment today. We're going to talk with the gentleman named Links, who had an amazing story, guys. And I was Googling, God found my husband, God found my wife. And you guys know this is not a one and done topic. There are many people with this type of story. And there are other streams about it. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So this is like a thing. So if you are a person of faith or not, if you believe a Christian-based belief, which is myself and Links, we are the same faith or not, I still think you got a good, juicy story to enjoy. So no matter who you are, where you're from, drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I've been waiting for this one, y'all. This is one that has piqued my interest since he said yes last week, and since he talked it over with wife. Y'all was asking me, is it both of them? No, this is his perspective. He's going to respect that there is another perspective, his wife's perspective, of course. So I say, you get as deep as you want. We ain't got to go all the way down every road. But he said, they had a talk. So I'm excited that she gave her blessing as well. Once again, it's a team, and you want to make sure we're respectful of all parties involved. So I'm just grateful for his bravery. And maybe, like I said, there are going to be gentlemen. They asking Links, do you still have your DJ equipment? Okay, yeah, get you to tell me about that and all this. So, okay, y'all know my boy Links a little bit more intimately. Some of you guys know. I'm going to start reading the chat. You guys know I want to make this fun. I told him I'm going to invite people up, right? So if you have questions for Links, if you know Links apparently, talk about his DJ equipment. If you want to get his opinion on something, I think it's going to be very good because right now, as I said, I've been in the game, if you will, in real life, helping build up women, particularly from the inside out. And that's something that's been important for me because I felt like I lacked those tools to understand who I was and why I felt some type of way in different scenarios and, even in relationships and why I needed to grow, but I didn't know how. So I started this movement. You guys may have heard of it if you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook. It's the Speak Women's Empowerment Movement. But I see, as many of y'all had let me know, hey, men relate too. So I don't know, maybe I have to change the name to just the Speak Empowerment Movement. But Speak was an acronym that God gave me, honestly. I was thinking about an acronym. I was running it by friends, and I was trying to get people, to see what resonated with them. And it came out as sisterhood, purpose, empowerment, authenticity, knowledge. Speak. That's how it was given to me. So I had a huge conference. This is now 2019. And before that, I was doing individual workshops to kind of just build up to the conference where I would invite speakers, very much so like I'm doing here on YouTube, to come and share their expertise, share their individual journey, share their story, and, tools they use to overcome challenges and hardships, tools they use to grow and get better and process what happened to them in their past, tools they use to grow and understand, how they can relate better, not only to themselves, but to the world around them. So that's pretty much what this platform. You like the meeting? Thank you. I see you, Mika. I'm coming to my comments. Yeah, y'all. But I just want to welcome you. I'm so hyped that he said yes, because it was a very interesting story. Do y'all remember the story? For those of you who are new to the channel, you may not have watched the second half of the lead attorney's hot seat interview. But if you didn't last the 5 hours of that stream, it's okay. I understand. But the second half, after I did what I did and got to know the lead attorney a little bit better, I got to know so many of my subscribers better because they came up. I dropped the link. They came up and told me about themselves. I had people from South Africa, London. Where is my boy Simon Hectic? Where is my other folks that came up? Simcia. All of these gentlemen who I had and ladies. Auntie Faye, where you at? That I got to, know because they came up on the platform, introduced themselves, and kind of just rap with me and gave me their thoughts about what it was that I discussed with the lead attorney at the time. So big up, first of all, lead attorney and all the big bros. Y'all say I don't do enough to say thank you to the gentlemen as much as I do to the ladies, but it's not any type of slight, gentlemen. I'm just used to calling out ladies when I'm doing my stuff. This is like how I've been conditioned. So I'm getting used to, let's do it for all of us, the genders. Let's meet in the middle. Let's share, let's exchange. And I find that so interesting that you guys find what we go through and what we're experiencing so interesting too. So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I have a wonderful y'all, I can't wait. Okay, Links, I'm sorry. I know you coming on, bro, but I gotta let them know what's happening. Dr. Tasha will be back on Saturday. Dr. Tasha will be back Saturday, 12 noon for the discussion. Are y'all ready for the title? We were discussing it yesterday. Are y'all ready for the title? Are y'all ready for the title, though? I don't see the like button. I don't see the subscribe. Go up. What happened? What happened? Y'all have to subscribe, y'all. I'm going to turn on subscriber only chat in a moment. So please do what you got to do. But Dr. Tasha will be coming back. And the topic on Saturday will be, would you marry you? Oh, y'all don't want none. Y'all don't want none. Help me, Jesus. But would you marry you? Y'all say yes? How many people say yeah? Y'all, okay, we coming down your street though. Get ready. We're knocking on your door though. Would you marry you? Uh-oh. All right. We're going to talk about it Saturday. I'm so hyped. You guys making me delve more into this relationship stuff, and I'm enjoying it. So let's see where it goes. I told you I would give it to you every now and then. We have another speaker. I think she's confirmed for tomorrow. Dr. Teresa McFarlane will be with us tomorrow night. I just confirmed with her. She can't come on till like 7 p.m. So get ready for a late evening stream tomorrow, 7 p.m. But Saturday we have Dr. Tasha. Sunday, I'm coming with you with the money advice. My girl Tasha from Major Change Group. Sunday, talking money, credit card, credit union, all of that good stuff, how she started her channel, and giving us some advice when it comes to building up the credit and making sure the score is looking like they're supposed to look, so y'all can get somebody and y'all don't have to be trying to work on their credit score before you. I'm sorry, y'all mad. I'm sorry. You know how it go, ladies. You like him, and then all of a sudden the credit score come up, and you gotta be like, "So what you did, repo? What happened there?" Okay, not trying to show, we're not trying to, do that. But I'm just saying the credit score matters, and I'm excited to have Tasha from Major Change Group Sunday. We rolling right up until Thanksgiving, guys. I'm gonna take a little break. You probably will see me on social media out in Miami during Thanksgiving. I'm taking a break. I don't think I'll be doing the Saturday. I have not decided yet because I'm definitely going out Friday night and I don't know what it's going to look like Saturday. Just being real. Here we go. Single life, South Florida in the building. 305, where you at? 954, where you at? 561, where you at? Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach is where I represent from. But I want to know where you're watching from. So come on through, drop a comment. Like I said, I'm about to turn on a subscriber-only chat for the first time. We're going to make y'all commit. Y'all got to commit. Y'all got to come through and hopefully show some love and support. For all of you who have already done that, thank you. You know what to do. Again, welcome to the brand new folks to the channel. I've crossed 3,000 thanks to you guys. I think I'm at 3,030 since I made the video. And mind you, when I made the video, I made it for Facebook, which happens to have a much more female-centric audience for me. So don't be mad. I know, I'm going to give it to the gentlemen. My supporters are both men and women, and I love all of them. So stop, don't take no slight of it, okay? Because it was not meant with that emotion. It was just so that I posted it on Facebook and I was like, you know what? Instead of doing a whole nother video, let me post it on YouTube and let them know. So thank you to all the guys, the gents. Thank you to the ladies. Big up to my bro, lead attorney. I hope he comes through. Big up to Tony Gonzalez, Dr. Warren, who came through. I have the guys in here representing too. But y'all know with my network and most of the work I had been doing pre-pandemic had to do with like helping women evolve and release from some of the things that were holding them back. So I can't help it. That's where my heart is. I'm going to be very transparent, but I can see that we all got issues and that men can relate just as much as my ladies to a lot of these topics. So I'm glad it's helping somebody. All right. So please hit the like. Please hit the subscribe button. Y'all know I'm monetized, right? Y'all get ready for them super chats though. What's up? Thank you for those who have supported. I'm working on getting a background. Yay. And I wish my next thing is one of the machines that make the sound effects. I think that would add a lot to the conversations because I really sometimes I want to give a nice siren salute. So big up yourselves for those who have been super chatting. Y'all know, again, support through super chat if you can. For those who have been, oh my gosh, thank you for those who have been holding me up already, supporting nice and early on the Cash App. Thank you. Big sis, I wanna oh my God, sister that dropped the Cash App after a show. I wanted to make sure to recognize her because I was like, yo, the Cash App is coming through. The love is coming through. I appreciate y'all for helping me to grow the platform. I know I gotta do a couple other things Can the Cash App come right to me, Lord? Of course. Big up Shayla. Shayla with the $50 Cash App. Shayla, thank you. Thank you, sis. I saw it. Thank you so much. Simcia, you know I love you. Thank you so much. I saw so many of you guys already showing support. So we're gonna try to get our fancy equipment. We're gonna try to do what Lead Attorney does, but in my way, the Suzette Speaks way. So we, we can't be like nobody else. We gotta be ourselves. And but we're hoping to, improve. That's what this platform is about. So improvement, here I come. Thanks to all of you. All right. So y'all hit the subscribe button. I'm not starting until the subscriptions go up, bro, because I'm turning on the chat only, subscribers only. I don't know how to do it, but I'm about to. Let me go over it now. If you have questions for Links, he is the man of the hour. Links, I started a story, y'all, and I know y'all remember, started a story that had, me and several other people like totally flabbergasted when he started, because we were like, what? There was so many unique elements to what he was describing. I was just really curious. Some might even say shocked, flabbergasted, just wondering, where is this going to go? where did it come from, and where did it go? And he revealed to us just a kind of taste of where he had been with his wife and how they met. So they met as teenagers. I'm going to let him go into it. Summer love type of thing. Years later, they come together, and I'm going to let him fill in those blanks. But I was like, what? God spoke to you in a dream? This happened? This is a thing? And again, if you just Google God found my wife or found my husband, it's a thing, y'all. People have been writing about this. And I don't know what you guys believe. Do you guys believe that divine intervention plays a hand in relationships? Because I've heard so many people say, like, you go get him and he goes and find you. I don't know which side of the table you on. They told me I need to put in work and I need to be a chaser. And then they also told me, no, a husband finds a wife. I don't know. We're going to find out today what happened in this particular instance. But yeah, it's very interesting. Does God, you think, play a part in who you select in any way? Is God who you seek in understanding who you should choose? Because some of us, we choose well. Some of us, we don't choose so well for ourselves. I saw actually an Instagram post, I forget the preacher's name, that was talking about compatibility being a thing. And then he was making the argument that compatibility changes. That you may start out in compatibility. Say if you're on the, the rough side of the mountain, and you're coming up and you're dealing with your, the challenging part of life, and you meet someone, and some people are very good for you during the struggle, but the compatibility may end when you get over the hump. Somebody listening? Hello. Drop some comments. And then when you start the success climb, sometimes you're not as compatible as where you started out with. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So were you really compatible, or were you compatible in dysfunction? Oh boy. Just saying. I saw the pastor say it. It wasn't me. It was the pastor. But what role does compatibility play? I found it very, very interesting to just think about that, because we place so much emphasis on it when we talk about selecting our forever mate. And does compatibility, is it seasonal? Does it change? Or what other characteristics, since y'all told me not to make no list. No list, Sue. Sorry, let me go ahead and change this chat to subscribers only. Go ahead and hit that like and hit that subscribe button. We got Links waiting so patiently. He has an amazing story, guys. I'm excited to hear the rest of it. I purposely told him, don't tell me no more. I want to hear it when everybody else hears it, because I'm just so in awe that, this level of direct intervention. Because I wonder, sometimes people say they hear the voice of God, they see it in the dream, and you be like, but I ain't see it. I didn't know. Does God speak to me like this? And I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, but I think it's an excellent way to kind of like bridge that curiosity, because what God does for one person, he could do for another person, for sure. So I'm going to turn on the, how I do this, Gail. Yeah, I'm going to go into the stream. I'm going to put on chat, and I'm going to put on subscriber only chat. I want the family to be able to talk, right? So I know there's a lot of people watching from all over. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now so you will be a part of this conversation. Y'all ready for a wonderful conversation with my man Links? Links is a gentleman who has been married now. I think he has like not just this part of his testimony, but we're going to ask him about married life as well and how that worked after the divinely orchestrated reuniting of he and his wife. I thought, again, this is something that is so incredible. It deserves a platform. It deserves to be told. And hopefully I get this right, y'all. I'm going to go to my YouTube channel one more time, get on the chat and actually put subscriber only chat so you guys know that right now when we go into chat mode with Links, you're going to have to be subscribed to find it and to comment. So please do that now. I appreciate y'all showing love. I'm going to read some of the welcome comments. I see all of y'all in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let me figure this out. Okay, hold on. Okay, that sounds like me sounding like myself. Okay, good. So I'm sure there's something I can press here. Gail, text me where I'm supposed to look to get the chat as subscribers only, but I'm sure there's a way I can do that real quick. But y'all, let me know where you're watching from. Please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button so you will be able to participate in the chat, ask the questions as you feel appropriate. But again, can God really reveal your spouse to you in, like I said, a very direct way, such as we're going to hear about right now with Links? Y'all ready? I'm excited for this. I'm really looking forward to learning from him as well. Oh, I see a super chat. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Gail, please just text me how I'm gonna do this and put it on chat only, subscribers only. I really should have Googled this before. What up? I see all of you saying what's up. Just drop a comment for me, please, real quick before we get started with Links, and let me know. Let me know how. Gail, please text me, please. Shout out to one of the best moderators ever. Shout out to RM. Shout out to Gaston's World. Shout out to Gail. And Gail, if you can do it, please put the chat to subscribers only. And if not, before the billions, I know you'll be watching too. He's very good at tech. Just let me know how to do it real quick. For a lot of them in the building, I see you. And North Carolina in the building, Virginia in the building, I see you. Put your location in the chat, please. Let us shout you out. Let us know where we are all watching from. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to try one more time. Let me see. Edit video. Let me just try real quick, guys. I appreciate your patience. We got Links coming up. The impromptu guest of another stream has now become the hot seat guest this stream. He has been so good and open with me. He's like, I'm an open book, so I don't mind answering a tough question. So if you guys want to come up later, we'll offer to drop the link and let you come up and ask your own questions of Links. Again, there are parts of the story I have not heard at all, so I'll be just absorbing it right now with you at the same time as you. So as we get this chat organized, praise God, I will move on because I want to make sure I give him time to kind of go through from the beginning where he's at. Gail, if you're watching, please text me just how to do it, please, because I don't want to prolong the stream. But I see it, and I'm trying to make sure I do it. Turn to subscribers only chat. Go to live control room from your live stream. Click edit. Thanks, RM. Click edit. Click chat under who can send message. Okay, so from your control room, go to live control. Yo, I should have actually I thought it was gonna be easier than this. Okay, thank you, RM. All right, I appreciate that. So yeah, hot seat Wednesday. That's what we're talking about, Doug. We got a gentleman came through, wanted to tell his story, wanted to share because we asked him to. So I'm gonna drop the link probably after maybe 30 minutes or so in case y'all want to come up and ask some questions. So it's gonna take him a minute because it's nice and juicy of how God, he says, revealed his wife to him. God showed him her in a dream. Y'all dream about me yet? No, man, let me stop. All right. If y'all don't know, I'm a Jamaican, born Jamaican, raised in Florida. Love a little bit of both. I say I'm the best of both worlds. Combo culture here. Love my African American culture. Love my Jamaican American kind of a mixed culture. I do it for the diaspora. If you are watching from wherever you are, know that there's nothing but love. We're here to uplift our community and heal our relationships. That's the only intention of this show right here. Because I don't think there's enough spaces yet on YouTube where we're not talking at each other, where we're not listening, where we're not hopefully learning from one another and trying to hopefully build. When we talk about building up our community, how are we going to build it? Starts with family. All right. Yeah, get off your soapbox. I know. All right. Y'all hit the like button though. Y'all ready? Thank you for the super chatter. I saw you. I'm coming for you right now. Thank you for my Cash App love. I'm coming for you right now. Links, you ready? Ready up? Fellow Jamaican American. I love it. All right, let me get some of y'all comments. I see you. Let me start with my super chatter. Hold on. Let me find that. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate you. Drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. I have a special guest, one of my fantastic male supporters, a brand new subscriber who has been in Sunbreeze. Big up yourself, Sunbreeze. Not even no comment, just straight love. Thank you, Sunbreeze. Always active in the chat. Let me know how you feel. West Coast in the building. I think Cali, if I remember correctly. Thank you, Sunbreeze, for coming through and blessing me, blessing the channel, and working and helping me work towards growing it and making it stronger. Thank you, Sunbreeze. Appreciate you. All right. So Chicago Rilla, you ready? All right, I see you. Thank you, RM, for holding me down. One of the fabulous moderators of my channel. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? Speak on it. Yes, y'all. I'm giving my day ones my special recognition today. I see you, so many people. Mika, what's up? I see you, my darling. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Rose D, thank you. Grandma of 11, day one's in the building. Dr. Keita, what it do? I see you, girl. Thank you for stopping through. I see you, Samuel. A pleasure. Welcome. Atlanta Yardi. Oh, yes. Big up yourself. I just love the name. Thank you so much for passing through. Master Lion Tamer already has a question. All right. You already have one. Let me see. What number he got for God? Did God hang up on you? So many people might feel like that. This is funny, but people may feel like this, like, something blocking it, Lord. Well, I don't know what it is. The direct connection seemed to be broke up. Hello, like my Comcast. Oh, he's listening, though. Won't he do it? What he's done for others, he can do it for you. Hello, somebody just gave me a bunch of girlfriends. She's coming. She's coming. That's how you gonna do me, God. God ain't like that, though. We got to figure this out. Let me tell you. And I think the show coming up, in addition to today's show, Would You Marry You, might give us both, me and you too, my brother, some good insight. Because when we were talking about it, I was like, Dr. Tasha, don't step on my toes now. I'm gonna be hosting, but I really wanted to think about that. And I hope it will cause our audience to think about that for themselves. Y'all ready? I see you, so many people subscribed. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, you already know. Big ups. My nickname, I think it was one of my law friends that gave it to me. She was like, Sue, you like the law Oprah. We just going with it. Thank you so much. Hey, Maya. Nice to see you. Thank you. DC, Maryland, Virginia, DMV, Chicago in the house. You know it. Tampa Bay representing. Thank you so much for watching. Speak on it with Annie says, dreams run in my family and I dream as well. I am a believer. I don't know. Sometimes I get good dreams. Sometimes I get bad dreams. You ever wake up and you're like, I hope that was just a dream. I hope I don't have to experience what I just dreamt. But we from the African diaspora, whether we are American born and raised, whether we are from the islands or Central America, South America, we have this thing with dreams, even pre-biblical. Hello, somebody, where we think of dreams as a connection to the divine. And what this ultimate force that I call God through Jesus Christ has for you, is saying to you, is telling you to do. You ever have these kind of sixth sense moments where you're told, I don't know, I have them all the time and I try to listen now. When I was younger, I did not listen. where you're like, call so-and-so, okay? Y'all still not calling them. I try to call them right away. And usually it's not like an emergency, but they need you, or they need to talk to you, or they need to kind of like let go, right? You ever had these things where you just get it in your spirit? I should call so-and-so. Or did I do this? I don't know. I believe in a divine power. And I know it in other ways, not necessarily for me yet in a relationship way, even though I think God has spoken to me in some ways. But not in the direct, yo, see him there? Yeah. That's the we will wait on you, Jesus. We will wait on you, Lord. But as y'all say, I got to put some work in too. So I'm not going to wait on the sidelines. I'm going to add, what I'm doing to the prayer. Hallelujah. Faith without works, somebody said. And we're going to see what the combo yields. All right. I see you, Patrice. Welcome. Virtual hug, sis. Nice to see you. I see you. North side. Okay. Let us know specifically, Grandma of 11. Thank you for being here. 305 in the building. All right, I want to do some get on up or something like that. Yes, he says he still had his DJ equipment. I saw him nod in the backstage. Thank you. I didn't know you weren't from North Augusta, South Carolina. Thank you. Speak on it with Annie. Yes, let's get these likes up. Thank you, Leon. I appreciate you. I'm so appreciated. Uh-oh. Next super chat. All right, y'all pretend I got the machine already. But thank you very much. Peace to the big homie, says Chicago Rilla. The big homie Links. I can't wait to hear God speak a word through him today. That me and him already talked about that. We prayed before we started. I was like, this is bigger than us, bro. This is going to affect people and do what it's supposed to do. So I know he has a word. His testimony, really, his story is something that I'm sure is going to touch lives. So we don't take this platform and we don't take this opportunity lightly. And in both he and I, when we spoke this morning, we were like, yo, this is going to be very good. So thank you for that. Blessing. All right, speak on it. Thank you. You guys for the love. Happy to be able to support the positivity and growth of the content for all of us. Thank you, sis. Big up South Carolina. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. I hope to bring some changes. Maybe after Thanksgiving, I'm gonna go shopping and see what I could get. Y'all say I could do a little better. I'm gonna try to do a little better, but I'm okay where I am. Thank you, Jesus. But I'm gonna try to do a little bit better. Yes, I do it for the ladies and the gents. Yes, Miss RM. Thank you so much. All right, so y'all gonna tell me about the dreams y'all had too. Y'all had dreams. Anybody else had this experience? Anybody else had this experience? Raise your hand if you would in the chat. You know it. Would you marry you on Saturday with Dr. Tasha? Y'all ready? Y'all not ready because we're going to go there. I think I need this. I told you before, I started doing my workshops because I needed help to release some of my baggage. Y'all know that bag of lady is really, really holding us back, some of us, men and women. I know the song is for ladies, but your men and women hold baggage. So I felt heavy. And I could only imagine how other people could feel as heavy as I felt and didn't know what to do with it. So I started to talk about it. I did a meetup. I started talking about it and then realized as I'm doing the meetup, doing some exercises that I saw, the vision came to me. This is how I see this topic. This is how we're going to get to the root of this topic. This is how we're going to get to the solution for this topic. That I do get vision of. As soon as I hear a topic, I hear how am I going to lay this out so that it could be relatable to people and that they could get some resolution, some denouement to whatever they're dealing with. I feel it that way. That I hear God's spirit talk to me all the time with. But it's doing what it's supposed to do now on YouTube. This is crazy. So I know purpose when I see it. I feel it. Y'all getting there already. Let me not get too deep. Let the gentleman come on and tell his story, y'all. You would definitely marry you. Well, that's a good thing to know. Because some people, come on now. The lack of self-awareness around these streets can be quite daunting. Some people don't realize why they may not be someone's, I don't even say pick, but first pick, let's say. Yeah. Okay. Master Lion Tamer said same thing. You guys know I like the confidence. Yes, you would. Okay. Let me know. Thank you. Get them likes up, please. I see you. Okay. Yeah. RM, thank you. Ebony, how are you, doll? Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you, Sunbreeze, again for that super chat. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. Y'all ready? Pamela from Texas. I see you. Represent. I've been doing a little bit of Facebook ads for Houston. I've always had a dream to do my workshop live in Houston. So I don't know if that's going to happen or when it's going to happen. But I've always had that vision to do the workshop. Yeah, sheesh. Can you believe it? 3,030. You're welcome. I know. Growth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wagwan. You already know what to do. Thank you. I'm not going to hate on the fellas. Suzette, y'all say me. Yo, what kind of... Not this Suzette, y'all say. That's a good one. That's an original one. Master Lion Table. I appreciate you. Thank you for holding me up. I appreciate you so much. Let's see who else we want to shout out. I don't know how to do any of this. I was gonna slow the chat down. I was gonna put it I had all this in my head preparing for today. King of Foods. Woo, 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 woo. My brethren met like maybe 10 years ago in South Florida. YouTube Academy through TLA brought us back into a connection. Can you believe this? This world is so small. Big up the king of foods, none other than Kelly Hunter, founder of Hunter's Seasonings. Go check his channel out, y'all. I invited him for December because I did want to mix it up with some of the guys. And we are going to do, I came up with the title, Kelly. We haven't really settled on it. But since he does seasoning, mad good seasoning, you can get them online. And cooking, I wanted to do a show called like cooking and cuffing during the holidays. Y'all, man. Okay, all right. I'm gonna pray about that. But I'm just saying the cooking and the cut. But you get what I'm saying for singles out there, right? I thought he's a single gentleman. He could talk about what he does for the holidays. You know, Friendsgiving. Okay, y'all mad? Okay, sorry, but that's where my all right, Kelly, big up yourself, King of Foods Network. Check him out, please. Ace Butterfly, I see you in this chat. Thank you, Doug. Two things can coexist. A man find a wife and a woman can make herself known. Real talk. Real talk. I thank you for that. I appreciate you. Shoot your shot, ladies. Faith without works. I hear you, King of Foods. We're going to talk about it when you come on here. He's going to be on in December talking about recipes and life. I can't wait for that, Kelly. That's going to be an awesome show. Speak on it. Annie says, I definitely believe in divine intervention. Absolutely. I'm going to try to figure out, I'm going to bring up links. Let's do that. And I'm going to just keep popping your comments up. And I'm going to try to figure out how to make my chat subscriber only and slow it down. But without further ado, I am so grateful that this gentleman was willing and stepped forward to come on, share a quite intimate story of how God revealed his spouse to him. And I know all of you were as intrigued as I was when I heard it the first time. There's so much more we got to get into. So let's get it popping, y'all. Welcome to, for the first time, no, not the first time, because he's been already, because he's been in the chat and stuff, and he's been on with the beginning of the story already. Okay, so for the next time, to the Suzette Speaks show, my special guest, my brother, for today. Y'all big him up. Drop them comments. Make him feel welcome. Let's welcome to the Suzette Speaks show none other than Links. Woo, 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 woo.
Wagwan, later.
Wagwan, brother. How are you?
I'm there.
I'm so excited. Can you tell this topic? Well, I was waiting for this one, Links. So I'm excited that you're here. Okay. How you feel?
Nervous.
Oh, no.
I'm still nervous.
You are?
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I'm opening myself up to people. I'm sharing a very personal story. And as we talked, you know, I'm going to share the whole thing. I'm not going to share just the highlights. So they're going to get the highs, the lows, and the highs again. So
well, I'm so grateful for that. Yeah. Like I said, for those of us who are single watching, I'm sure it will help. For those of us who are married watching, I'm sure it will help. And there's something unique about a man's perspective. So without further ado, first, before we get to the story, please just introduce yourself to the people. Tell us where you're from, how you grew up, all that good stuff. Welcome. Welcome.
I go affectionately by the name of Links. As Chicago mentioned, I was a former DJ. That's how Chicago and I connected years and years ago in Atlanta. Was a gospel reggae DJ and did that. But my background is I'm born. My family's from Jamaica. Mom is from Portland, the country, a small town called Fruitfulville, Jamaica, in the hills. My dad is from Kingston, and I'm born in New York. And here's my story is a little bit crazy because I was born in New York, and then at age 1, we moved to Toronto, Canada. And I grew up in Toronto for about 12 or so years and then moved back to New York. So my background is a little bit strange, kind of interesting, the natural migration patterns. And Suzette, of Jamaicans is, either you're in Florida, you're in New York, Canada, or England. Those are the main spots that we end up. So I grew up crazy. I'm a black kid in Toronto, Canada, growing up playing ice hockey. Yeah, I was a big ice hockey kid growing up. Yeah, just soul on ice. It didn't look right, but I was nice with it. And then moved back to New York, and that's where I got my, I guess, culture. I say on my IG, what New York or Toronto raised, New York bred, Jamaica's my roots. So that's my story. It's just interesting as we were talking this morning. We were talking about our families, and I was asking your family surnames and stuff like that. And just
we're trying to figure out we was cousins, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. So where you from? I have a crazy story about that. I'll jump into that. I was down there some years ago in Bal Harbor at the for work at the St. Regis there in Bal Harbor, and I had a young lady that at that hotel. It was brand new at the time, and they assign you butlers to take you to your room. And this young lady was taking me to my room, and we were talking, and I'm like, okay, I'm listening to her. And I said, okay, you sound like I know you're from Jamaica. You sound like you're from country. She said, yes. And then I asked her, what's your family surname? She said, Dawkins. I said, oh my God, you're my cousin.
No.
Yes. That's what I said. My life is crazy. So we linked on Facebook, and as soon as I linked, I'm saying, oh yeah, there's my cousin Renee. Wow. There's my cousin this. So yeah, that's happened to me 2 times. I was in Jamaica some years ago with my wife, and I ended up meeting another cousin at the resort in Jamaica.
So not unusual though. Isn't that crazy? That has happened to me. I went on a date with a guy that I realized we had the same was it great grandfather? I was like, what the heck is going on? But it makes sense because we, like as you described, we follow the same migration patterns.
Yeah.
So we would end up together in South Florida. And then I realized he had lived with like a cousin I actually knew. I was
wow.
This is wild. Like our grandparents and great grandparents would be laughing, but it was my cousin. Like it was really crazy. But anyway, go ahead. But not everybody from Jamaica is related, y'all. But we just happen, if you're from the same parish, you might be. So you got to check that first.
Exactly.
But go ahead. So that's kind of a cool upbringing. So you have a little bit of island, you have a little bit of Canada. How long did you spend in Canada?
I was about maybe 12, 13 years in Canada. So
that's cool. And then a lot of people don't realize there's a strong Black diaspora in Canada as well. Caribbean based and otherwise. Like there's a lot of Black folks in Canada, which I love. Definitely. Shout out to Drake. So.
Yeah, it was Canada. Canada was a very very interesting time growing up, because the block I grew up on, I affectionately now I say I grew up on my block in Canada was literally the United Nations. So we had families from India and Korea and Bahamas and Ireland, and you name every ethnicity. That's what I grew up in Toronto with. So it was a great upbringing, but at the same time it crippled me in the sense of I didn't and this is going to sound crazy, I didn't understand racism or anything like that. There wasn't, as far as my ethnicity, I knew I was Jamaican. The accepting of cultures, different cultures there in Canada, Toronto, especially, it's celebrated. You have in Toronto, you have the biggest carnival out in North America outside of the Brazilian carnival, Caravana, and that's celebrated by everybody there in Canada. So the West Indian culture is greatly celebrated. You have every ethnicity. So I didn't understand that. Didn't understand that growing up. My first, it's gonna sound crazy. My first stint or taste of understanding racism. I was in Atlanta as a kid. This was years. My pops was looking to move to Atlanta in the '80s, and I experienced something there. But other than that, it was probably the best upbringing, because it taught me to understand different cultures and be able to move in different circles and be myself. So I'm very thankful and appreciative of that upbringing, there.
Can I
And
jump in a
then,
little bit? I can relate to you 100% because I
yeah.
think a lot of people, when you come from that kind of background where you're emigrating, you're moving, you're in a different whole, society, different sound, different speed,
Yeah.
different foods, multiculturalism. I
Mhm.
think it's a blessing because I realize not everybody gets to grow up around that. A lot of people, when they grow up, it's not a bad thing, but it's like a uniform culture,
Yeah.
or maybe just black and white and one
Mhm.
ethnic black
Yeah.
only, or one ethnic type of white only. So I
Mhm.
think you're like me growing up in South Florida, which was much more before a melting pot, now more like a lumpy stew where people kind of
Mm.
cling together.
Okay.
But the beauty is, like yourself, I feel like I can be very much adaptive, almost like a chameleon when it comes to people
Mhm.
from different places, because we
Mhm.
had to be. And I shared with you, like, even going to school, I had several different accents, if you will, and people would,
Yes.
maybe if they don't experience this type of multiculturalism
Yeah.
in growing up, they might be like, what, you had different accents? Well, yeah, because I had a strong group of like African American girlfriends growing up, and when I was with them, I sounded like them. I learned the vernacular. I
Mhm.
just adapted because you wanted to fit in. Particularly, I'm talking about elementary and middle school, where
Yeah.
you didn't want to be otherized, and there was no, mainstream culture of a Rihanna or a Nicki Minaj, or no one understood. And where I was, the multiculturalism out, it might be different in other cities, of course. I'm thinking New York, I'm thinking, DC Metro,
Mhm.
Baltimore metro area, where there's a lot of multiculturalism as well
Right.
among Black people. But I
Mhm.
think it was something that enhanced me in a lot of ways, and being able to understand many different people from many different walks of life and
Yeah.
socioeconomic backgrounds, ethnic and cultural backgrounds. And it just, I feel like even now serves me very well. How do you feel?
Yeah, definitely. I one of the things I say, I call myself quadlingual.
Yes.
Um, in that I'm able to, I call it my marketplace vernacular. I'm in corporate America. Been in corporate America for 29 years, in corporate America. So I can move in those circles. When I'm around my Jamaican family, I have that. My African American friends, that. Um, and even in the African American diaspora, depending on where you are. If when I was living in New York, there was a certain, there's a certain swag and vernacular. When I was in ATL, going to high school in Atlanta, I had learned and adapted there, and so I'm able to, I can move fluidly. Some people call it code switching. Yeah, there's some code switching that has to be done. I call it with code switching within the corporate uh, culture, but for me, I'm able to adapt as far as this is just me. these are my people, and I'm myself. among them. So we have our jokes and innuendos and all that kind of stuff, and they get it. They get me. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
thankful for all of that.
My greens could be either collard greens or callaloo,
Callaloo, yes,
depending on who I'm
yes,
with. So when I
yes,
hear greens, I'll be like, okay, which one you mean? Okay, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I'll bring some
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
I love it. I can do my dumpling or I can do my cornbread. It's either for
Yes,
me.
Johnny Cake,
So
yes,
I love the way, we get to embrace a new culture, if you will, as an immigrant, but also, keep a little bit of the old country as well. So I think it's a
yeah.
wonderful, like I said, blend of both worlds or best of both worlds, if you will. So you come from Toronto to
Hmm.
New York, you say first?
Born in New York,
Oh, born in New York.
born in New York to Toronto,
Then,
Toronto back to New York,
yeah.
then New York to Atlanta, and
Okay.
then Atlanta back to New York,
Mm-hmm.
New York back to Atlanta, and now I'm in the Carolinas now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So take us to that time. You said you first met wifey.
Okay.
Everybody asking, she gonna come? They talking about the salt and pepper. They
Yeah.
taking you in, my brother. They take you
Okay.
in. So I want to know about the first time because I didn't realize that you had
Yes.
met your wife when you guys were young, a short time, and then years later you saw her again.
So
So
actually, yeah. So I
they
met
say
my
get the
wife.
tissue ready, but
So here we
let's
go.
hear where it all began. Go ahead,
Yes,
please.
it actually began the summer of '87. Actually, that's when I moved down to Atlanta from New York. So that summer, while we moved down, um, oh God, I was so New York at the time. So I hated the move of having to move from New York to Atlanta because that was actually my senior year of high school that my folks decided to make the move down to Atlanta. So that leaving that peer group and friend group and coming to Atlanta, I was very salty. But anyway, we moved down, and somehow my sister ended up meeting another family up the block that had just moved down from New York as well. So and they were another Jamaican family. So my sister became friends with the daughter of that family, and they hung out. And that same summer, um, my now wife's family came down, and they were staying at that family's house up the street. And I saw her at the time, and I was like, okay, she cute. Um, I wasn't like head over heels, but she cute. And we had a
Hold on.
yeah.
So
Okay.
you're 15, 16 at this time? They
Yeah, I
told
was
me I
six,
better
I was
check the
16. She was
check the family
15.
tree before we go on
I
any
was
dates. But anyway, so you were 15, 16 at the time. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was 16. She was 15.
Okay, and you was checking her out.
I was
And it
checking her
was your
out.
sister friend.
My sister's friend. Yes.
Okay. So you saw the girl and what you thought first when you saw her. Love at first sight?
She was cute. She was a very cute girl. She was from Queens, where I was born. I was born in Queens, and she was from Queens,
Okay.
as well. Her family's from Jamaica as well.
Okay.
So yeah, she was cute. And, she was a cute girl. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah,
All right,
and
Links. I
and
gotta
then
go
I
back.
had
We
I
go.
had a little swag.
Hold on,
Okay,
Links. Hold
all
on, hold
right,
on, hold
all
on,
right,
hold on, hold on. Let me get to
yeah,
some detail here because I know it was years ago. That
okay.
summer of 80 was 7.
'87, summer
But
'87.
I want to get to the nitty gritty. So you know how people always say that, or I've heard, men typically date like a certain type, like all men have their preferences. So I can be wrong, men. Please
Okay.
correct me in the chat. I want to learn. So like you're like short, dark, tall, medium, brown skin, dark skin, light skin, curly hair, straight hair. Was she any of the things that you had typically liked in terms of her physicality?
I am tall. I'm 6'3", so
Mm-hmm.
I'm tall. I'm trying to think how tall I was. Probably about 6'1" at the time. Six feet, 6'1" at the time. So the girls that I particularly went for at the time, I was going through my. I'm just being honest. I was coming out of New York, coming from Canada to New York. I was on my Latin girl phase.
Mm.
So I was heavily into Latin girls. Part of the reason why is because of my mother. If you see my mother, and the complexion of my mother. My mother's very, very fair skinned.
Okay.
My mom could pass for, Latin.
Latina.
Yeah, she could pass for Latina. So that's where I was doing that. My wife she's a brown skinned beauty. And so it wasn't that I was smitten, but she was a beautiful young lady. So it was like, I'm trying to think, oh God, there was a doggone female rapper from back in the day. And my
Foxy
wife,
Brown. No, just kidding.
yeah. Well, I got some stories. My wife is from East Elmhurst, Queens, so she grew up with Kid and Play
Oh,
and the Salt
wow.
and Pepper Crew, and all. She knows all of them, the Fubu guys and Kwame and all that stuff. Yeah, she knows all of them. But there was I can't even remember the name of this female rapper, but she was my wife was this. She looked like the spitting image of this female rapper. I can't even remember her. But she was a beautiful young lady. She came down to Atlanta with her, New York swag and the style we were rocking back in 80, 87 and whatever, the drop
She
socks,
was
and
wearing knockers and some Timbs.
had the bamboo earrings. Yes, the bamboo earring. Yes. And did she have asymmetrical bob? I don't
I was
remember.
going to say, did she have the salt and pepper hair?
No, no, no. It was like pulled up, and if I can remember the name of this rapper, Sweet Tea. The name of the rapper was Sweet Tea,
Oh,
brown
okay.
skin, beauty. Yeah, so she looked like the spitting image of Sweet Tea to me. So yeah, I was
So she took you all away from the Latin phase and was like, "Yo, the chocolate girl's got something to say." Yes.
I learned when I moved to Atlanta that I was like, yo, the Georgia Peaches were. Whoa, yeah. I was like, yo, this was different. It was different. It was, yeah. God bless them. God bless the women in the ATL. Yeah, it was
So you was
different.
like, wait a minute, I went from, fair skin, curly-ish hair, that kind of look, to like, whoa. Shout
Yeah,
out to the Georgia Peaches going on over here.
melanin was popping.
Melanin was
Yeah,
popping. Okay. So you
yeah.
see her, and do you make the first move? Is it that kind of thing, or what happens then?
It was she came by the house, and I don't know how it was, I guess it was kind of mutual. She thought I was cute, and I thought she was cute, and we started talking and just hanging out. And this was only a week. This is now in the span of a week. She had come. The reason, her purpose for coming down to Atlanta, she was checking out. Her family was checking out schools for her older brother at the time. He was in going to be a chiropractor, and there was a big school in Atlanta, Life Chiropractic, that he was checking out. So that's why they had come down, and they were only there for a week. So this is just the span of a week that we had to meet each other, hang out at the mall, go to the community pool, talk, and that was it. So we were kind of smitten, a week summer romance, just a single week summer romance type of a thing. And as fast as she was there, she was gone, you know. And so that happened, and then we lost contact with each other. I think I was telling my son the story the other day, and I think we wrote each other a letter. My son was laughing at me. He was like, "You wrote a letter?" Because he's the new generation and email and text and whatever. So he was just laughing. You wrote, yeah, we wrote to each other like maybe once or twice, and then we lost contact. I did not see her again. I did not. Let me see. That was the summer of '87, and I think that was '87, and it was probably 1990, 1991 before I saw her again or met her again.
All right, so let's catch up, because some of the
Yeah.
chat was like, okay, links. Did you initiate then?
Did I initiate when the
When
reconnection?
you first met her that week of was it love at first sight that week?
I would say yeah. I would say it was a mutual. I would say it was a mutual. We were kids. We were 16. I had no game. Didn't have any. I was a tall kid. I guess I New York swag, style, whatever. So yeah.
On
So
the do rag, you had your do rag on.
Nah, I was rocking. I'm trying to think what we were rocking back then. I had my haircut was similar, but I had the half moon part,
Oh.
in my head, and we were rocking using curl kits back then. So, yeah. So I was,
So you had a little
yeah,
texturizer. Okay.
yes, I had the texturizer. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Bring us back. I love it. So
yeah,
you go, so you had this summer thing, if you will. So
yes.
you guys hung out, lovely time. Were you smitten like love at first sight type of deal?
I would say I'm not gonna. I can't really say love at first sight. They said it was just
Attraction.
a week. It was just
Mm,
it was we were smitten with each other for that week,
okay.
and it was I'm 16, she was 15, and we saw each other for that week, and then after that, I'm in my regular life now, and I'm seeing young ladies from Atlanta. All yeah,
Doing your thing. So no
yeah,
phone calls in between, no how you
no,
doing? So you guys
nope,
never kept contact. Okay.
no.
So fast forward, no. So we meet again when?
I moved back to Atlanta, the going through some stuff at the house, and I ended up moving back to New York in 90. I want to say, yeah, 1990. I went to live with my brother in New York in 90 in Long Island,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I started my career. Um, and I'm in banking, so I started my career in banking way back then.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I
So
was
when do you guys reconnect? So I want to know when y'all see each other again,
we
and how long
reconnected.
was it?
I would probably say it was maybe in 91 that I reconnected. It was the Christmas of 91. I was thinking about her, and I was on my big simp energy back then.
What do you
And
mean, big simp energy? Y'all
oh,
love this word
I was
simp. Y'all
big simp
love that
energy.
word
So
simp. What do you mean, Moda?
I
What do
was,
you mean?
oh man, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm thinking about her. She's here. I reached back to somebody in Atlanta because our families at that time had connected. So, everybody knew each other. I reached back, got her information, spoke to her mom, called and spoke to her mom, bought her a Christmas gift. I hadn't seen this girl in
Oh.
years.
What
Bought her
led you? What moved you to do all this? You just been thinking about her, saw her on
I was
Facebook,
thinking
like
about I was just thinking about her.
she
I
just
was
came back to memory.
just came back to memory. I said
Mm,
just I was living in New York. I was enjoying myself.
in the
Man, I
street.
was living yes, I was enjoying myself in New York, back in New York again. Yeah, it was that was a good 90s were a good time in New York. Um, and I just was thinking about her, and I went to go to her house, and that night I bought this gift. I don't remember what it was. I spent a nice piece of change on this gift. Went to her house that night, and she was living in East Elmhurst, Queens, and went there that evening, rang the doorbell, saw her mom. Mom saw me and was like, "Hey, Kevin," she was all happy to see me. And I went to see, she said, and she's not here. So I was like, okay. And I gave her the gift, and I left the gift with her. And I was like, okay, well, maybe next time. And as I'm walking back to the car, I guess she saw me. She saw me. She was sitting in the car, and she saw me and got out the car, and we talked for a minute and said, how you doing? And I'm sitting. My mind is going like, okay, maybe we'll rekindle something. That was my motive for going to see her, trying to rekindle something. And um, she broke my heart and told me that she couldn't talk. Her fiance was there in the car with her. Yeah,
What? What?
yeah,
What? Okay, hold on. So my
yeah,
catch up now. So you had this moment, y'all both in New York.
yep,
So this is after the summer thing, summer fling. You've been doing
yep.
your life. She's been doing your life. Something came to you just out of nowhere. Oh my God,
Out of
this girl,
nowhere.
I wonder where she is. Let me find out. Start doing my
Yep,
research. Find out she's in Queens. Oh my gosh, let me go over there with a nice big gift, spend some money, show
yep.
I care, invest, knock on the door, ping bong. And it's like she has a fiance.
She wasn't there. I'm walking back to the car. I'm walking on the sidewalk, and corner of my eye, I see her. She rolls down the window, and she got out the car. We talked for just like a hot second. She said, "I can't really talk right now. I'm here with my fiance. Oh, oh, oh,
Ouch.
oh.
Y'all drop some chats. Do you guys ever want to relate or can relate or are afraid to relate to something like this where all of a sudden you make that move, you know, the rejection thing is a hard part of dating. I even had a cousin text me that she wants to go on a date, but she's already thinking about all the bad things that may happen. I'm like, guys, you just gotta go. Don't invest so much. Just
Yeah,
go. If you don't
yeah.
like him, if he's a blank boy, you know, just it'll be done. Don't take it personal. But there's so many hit and misses for us. Sometimes we get, you know, nervous. This was a huge, you know, miss, if you will. So how did you feel? How
Oh,
did you feel when you saw?
I was that really, because I said I was going there with intentions. I'm thinking, now you got to think we hadn't seen each other in years, so my my connection with her was back when I was, 15, 16. I'm 16, so all those puppy love emotions and all that stuff is going in my head, and I'm remembering this, and I'm like, man, she was, she was a beautiful young lady. I'm looking to reconnect, and I'm having all these things. I'm thinking all this stuff. And we gonna get into a relationship, we this, that, whatever. And she told me that, and I was heartbroken. I was honestly heartbroken, and that did a number on me. That really did a number on me. I was that sent me into a dog stage for some years. Um, I was just like I was hurt, and I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I forget her. I ain't thinking about her no more. All right, peace out,
Let me jump
deuces.
in here. I just want
Yeah,
to acknowledge my super chatters. Thank you, Simon Hectic. I see you, London, in the building. Big up, man, from Brixton, from East London, West Side, all of that. Thank you for your support. And I saw Snuggles had a question. I don't know if it was for you or for the chat. Snuggles, big up yourself. Thanks for the super chat. Asking about kissing cousins. I think I was going slow through the chat. Did you kiss your cousin? And I don't think you kissed your cousin. You found out they were your cousin before you even went out with them.
no, 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 no,
Okay,
no,
I didn't kiss my
no,
cousin either. It was a good dinner date, but
no, no. And she was a
but
beautiful
by the
young
end of
lady.
dinner, we knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
I
I
was
no,
like,
and she was that cousin that
sheesh.
I met. She's a beautiful. I got some my family. Two of my cousins have been Miss Jamaica Universe, so I've got
Oh,
some
so
good
y'all got
looking
beautiful
people.
people. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
in
That's
my
a big deal.
family.
No,
So
I never kissed no cousin either.
no,
I don't think now older people in my family, older people, because
yes,
remember they did not travel. Everybody traveled by donkey or like people
yes,
say in America by horse. So they married people from like
yep,
similar villages. So I'm related
yep.
to a couple people from both I don't know.
Same
Y'all
thing.
ain't got no family where you related on both sides. Your mama's side is a cousin of so and so, and your father's side is the same cousin. So we do
Yeah,
have a little bit of that. But you got to
yes,
remember, when we were talking about it earlier, links. Our families ran to the hills. Like we're in
yes.
the countryside of Jamaica. When the slaves
Mhm.
got free, they went up, 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 up in the mountains. Where I like the where my grandparents are or were, rest in peace, is like I could only compare it to maybe like the mountains of the Carolinas, how
Okay.
is like bush.
Yeah.
It is vegetation with house.
Yes.
Vegetation with house. Like they
Yep.
ran into the hills. So imagine that 100 years ago. 150 years ago. No
Yep.
one went anywhere to go look for a wife except like in the neighboring districts. So
Hmm.
we do have some
Hmm.
of that, but no one that we know of. And my family is still very close with my seconds and thirds and fourths. Like we've all
Hmm.
stayed in contact and we're all
Yeah.
still kind of very like I guess tribal for a lack of a better term.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we know who we know our one another as we say, so that we don't have this issue. But the first thing I do ask is like, where district are you from in Jamaica? Where are your peoples from? You have to ask because if not, you
Yeah.
could get in trouble. Anyway, so back to the conversation. So this is
Yeah.
interesting. I wonder how she came into your spirit. Do you attribute that to God at that time, even though you got the rejection at the moment? Did you attribute that to him, or
I
you just thought of her and you just feel like it was just something inside you?
you know what? I can't say it. It probably was God at the time. I was not. The '90s in New York. I was nowhere. I was even think God was nowhere on my radar. I was living it up. I was having a good time in New York. Good time. New York was good. That was
So you wasn't in the church, and you wasn't in all of
Nah,
that at that time. You wasn't
nah,
like, God is
nah,
my homeboy at that time. I get it. I
nah.
get it. All right. So this was
I was
you
in
just
the,
thinking about somebody you had known, had a nice,
yep,
summer thing with, and
yep,
wanted it back. All right. So after
yep,
the big rejection or the
yes.
surprise of your life, where
Hmm.
you go to a girl's house bringing gifts, ready to rekindle what
Yep.
was in the 87, to bring back that good thing, that old thing, and
Hmm.
she has a fiance. So where
Yes.
do you guys go from there? You walk away despondent, and then what happens? You just like,
And
forget this chick.
after that, I left it alone. I literally, I put her out of my mind. She was no longer in my mind. And then I was there in New York for probably, let me see, I was there probably for another year, and then I moved back to Atlanta. So I'm back, moved back to Atlanta, and I'm living my life back in Atlanta. That was, I said the '90s were a good time, and
Back to ATL as a single man,
as a single man,
continuing your career.
yeah.
And then when do you get that third bite at the apple?
So now I moved back to Atlanta, and her uncle had stopped by the house. And he came by the house, and he was, like, hey, guess what? Like, what's going on, Uncle Robbie? What's going on? And he's like, guess who's moved to Atlanta? I'm like, who? And he said, my wife. My wife's family had moved down to Atlanta. And I don't know why all of that stuff, like, nah, you nixed her out. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe let's try this again. And at this time now, I said I'm in a different phase of my life now, so I'm semi dog at the time. So I'm like, yo, all right, let's see if I can bag her. Let's try and bag her. And got the number, and I called her.
Hold up. What that mean? What that mean? So I could bag her.
Yeah,
I know
was.
I'm listening. Like, my listener's gonna say, what that mean though? So you like, oh,
Look,
you
as I
left
said,
me? Were you trying to exact revenge on old girl? That's what I want to know.
Not gonna say exact revenge, but I was in the mindset of, yo, I was just in a casual mindset, so I was not even thinking about quote unquote relationship.
So
But I'm gonna
not
see
looking
if
for a
I,
wife, none of that.
yeah, I was gonna see if I could get with her. And
okay.
I reached out,
So
got the
reached out,
number,
okay.
got the number. I reached out and called her, and interesting enough, that's when God started to do some things. Again, I was living it. I was back. I was 22 and came back to living with my folks in Atlanta. That was not a good thing.
Okay, listen, they have a question. Excuse me for
All right.
interrupting. It says, Ace Butterfly says, when Links rekindled, was this after college? So the New York time was like in your early 20s or late teens,
Yes.
and then this was
Yes.
now as a grown up in your early 20s again in Atlanta.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the time reference.
Yes.
Okay, keep
Yes.
keep doing.
Mm-hmm. So
was she open to meeting up with you? Was she
we never,
excited? Like, oh yeah.
no, because we didn't meet. But when we talked, I talked to her on the phone at that time. And what happened with her, and I didn't mention that she got into the church she became born again probably when she was 17. So she was in the church heavy at the time. And I didn't, again, I didn't know this. My mindset wasn't nowhere near that. So when I called her this go around, I'm talking with her, and I'm, just talking, trying to, spit game. And the conversation ended up circling around to God. And that's where the conversation, instead of looking for, trying to, kindle a relationship or try to do something, that's what ended up happening. The conversation ended up being around God. And she is the one. I was going through a whole lot of stuff with my family, particularly my father. Okay, go ahead.
Wow, okay. So they this is so petty. Who asked this question? Talk about, did you keep the gift or did you keep the gift?
No, I look, I gave the gift, I bought the gift, I gave the gift, I left the gift. So
oh, you gave her the gift?
yes.
Oh, so she would have
Yes.
remembered that. Ooh.
I was making good money back then. Yeah.
Ah, so
Nice.
you weren't sweating it. You
No,
was
I
like, you
wasn't
know what?
sweating it. No, I was
Hold this.
making.
So they're saying
Yes.
I called it rejection. There was a lot of oh my gosh, heartbreaks, emojis. I see y'all. Some people are saying no, it wasn't rejection, it was circumstantial. They asked why didn't the mom say, dang, she had a fiance. Mama, you could have told me that before I turn back around. All of that. Like, why wouldn't you just say it?
I
But
don't know.
maybe her mama liked you. You know,
He
parents do that
did.
sometimes.
He did.
They
Ma,
be
Ma,
saving
Ma
you.
Dukes.
They save the
Ma
one.
Dukes like me. Yes. Ma.
They
So
save,
I,
but they
yeah.
look out for the one they like. Yeah, but
Yes.
me not like the one when she have. So come back
Yes.
later.
And I like him. And I like him. My spirit not take
They
you.
give the why do
Yes.
parents do that? They be
Yes.
looking out. You be done with them, but they be looking out. They be like, come back later, come back.
Yep.
So
Yep.
so you wow. So you thinking hookup, let me just break it, make it
Yes.
plain. And she's talking about Jesus.
That's yes.
And you got hit
Yeah.
in the face with a different woman, she was in a different phase of her life.
Yep.
So how did that make you feel? Less attracted, more attracted to her? Some of y'all keep talking about we follow the God thing too
Yeah.
strong, and it makes you, I don't know, were you attracted to it? Was it throwing you off? Were you still vibing her or at that point?
What was very attractive to me, it moved from a physical attraction, the attraction because of her conversation. I was going through a dark period in my life. I was going through a real dark period in my life with my father. And when I had conversations with her, there was a joy that was in her voice. I couldn't pinpoint it. I couldn't put my finger on it. Again, I didn't have any language for it. I just knew it. I felt it. And that was very appealing. It was very attractive. Um, I mean, it was light. Light is attractive. Light attracts. And there was a light in her. There was a light in her voice. And again, keep them. We hadn't. When I called her, I still had not seen her since that lad when I got rejected by her. I had not seen her. This was a phone conversation. I had not seen her, and it was conversations. I forget how long we had conversations, but those conversations ended up leading me to give my heart back to the Lord. On my bed, December 23rd, 1993, is I lay in my bed and I was going through the stuff with my father, and I gave my heart back to the Lord, and that is what began the supernatural experiences and the stuff that I'm mentioning to you.
Hold on. We got to
Yes,
get there. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna do a quick reset. I'm loving the chat.
yes,
I'm having a fun time just reading what everybody's questions are. I want to welcome those who are late joiners. I see the numbers creeping up. I see more people in the conversation. This is a good time to be jumping in. Don't worry, y'all can go back and watch from the beginning. I'm here with the one and only Links, who had a beautiful story to share. Wanted him to share it. Y'all, welcome to the Suzette Speaks show. I was going to put the chat to subscribers only. So you know what that means. Hit that subscribe button. Y'all come in lurking, as the British boys would say. But we want to make sure you become a part of the community. So hit the notification bell, like, and subscribe, and hit notifications. Y'all know I got some good shows coming up. Super chat is active. Hello, thanks to you guys. We over 3,000 now, and you guys know I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys for the Cash App support. Actually, let me check and see if anybody has sent any. But thank you so much. You guys know it's all love. So Links is in the middle of his story. I don't know, probably first third of his story, talking about his wife. And I'm just interested in that. This is like third time's a charm type thing. Because I think sometimes when people feel that type of like, that ain't working out, we say it's God. You understand?
yeah.
When you feel like the ouch, you're like, okay, that's God. I'm not for that woman, or I'm not for that man. But it's something interesting about you still going after her in a way. I don't know what it was, but it's like, most men, I don't know, or women, rejection is not a fun thing. So we would typically be like, hey, that's a sign from God. But it was different from you. And I'm seeing how, obviously she played such a pivotal role in your life, especially at a hard moment, and was able to, with her faith foundation, hold you up and help you become or get to the other side. So all of that to say, was her heart open to you that third time?
No,
Beyond the faith, like I'm
she
talking
was
about
still
as a romance.
engaged.
So she was just there trying to save your soul. She was not
That's
there
it.
trying to hook up. She wasn't in your face like
No,
googly goo, googly eye,
no,
come by Friday night
no,
time. None of
no,
that.
no.
Oh, okay.
She was
Okay,
still
that's
engaged to be married. And yes,
hold up. I missed that. So she
she was still
what?
engaged to be married.
All
So
this
her,
time while she was praying for you and pouring into you and trying to help you get
yes,
saved.
yes, she was still engaged to be married. So it was just I said what my motives were not her motives in the conversation. It was just, she had, I guess from her side, oh, this is somebody that I knew in Atlanta. We knew each other, and hey, we'll be friends type of a thing. But my motives were something different. And I said what she ended up being in my life at the time, in that darkness, she was joy and she was peace in my life at the time.
Wow. Okay, we're
And
gonna
I
step on some
needed
toes.
that.
Hold on. This is beautiful, but we got to step on some toes at the same time.
Okay.
Got people that said, "Where her man did they? Where was her man at this time? I'll she a pray for you,
Yeah.
give you encouragement and all of that. Where was her fiance?
Her
Why
fiance was
was you in
still
her face or what?
yeah.
That's we got to talk about it because it feel like some type of way.
Yes.
I'm bad. I'm happy that she lifted you up, but she was betrothed to another
Yes.
person. So
Yes.
it kind of feel a little yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
So how? Please explain that. Please explain what's going on right there.
She was engaged. So this was 92 now. That we this no, this was 93. We reconnected. So she had been engaged now about 3 years. She moved to Atlanta. Her fiance was still in New York. So whatever was going on in their life, I didn't ask, but they were, they still were engaged. I don't know. I didn't ask about, if a date had been set or whatever. They were just engaged. And I said, my conversation with her, I was with one motive, and then it became a completely different, motive. As I said, and she became or she was at the time, she was peace and she was joy in my life, and brought me into a relationship with God that changed the trajectory of my life. As I said, and the I had, no real, as far as interaction with God, didn't have any interaction with God, prior. And that, this is gonna sound crazy, Suzette. I said I gave my heart to God the December 23rd, 1993, and it was wow, probably it was something real. It was real. As I said, I was in my bed and I cried because I was going through so much at the time, and I cried out. I cried out to God. I mean, I was in tears, and I just, all right, God, here you go. Here's my life. I'm here. It is. I give it to you. Save me. Whatever. I don't even know what I said. What I prayed, and that began a journey for me. My conversation now with her, we still had conversations, but she was going to a church in Atlanta. The church she was going to at the time was called Word of Faith, in Atlanta. And I'm like, okay, I want to go to church. I was not my mindset completely shifted now from her to God. I was just God, I want you. That was it. And not too long after that, I went through a series of experiences, supernatural experiences with God, for like over a 3 night period, that solidified the tangibleness of God, that solidified God was real. Um, and I don't even know if I want to share the stories because they're so crazy. They're
Okay,
crazy.
hold on.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right because I
Yeah.
feel you. I feel you. So the love part of you. Let me ask you. Okay, so it sounds like you change your romantic intention from her? You were just dealing
Yes.
with the spiritual side of her
Yeah.
and looking for God and saw her as an example to get to God.
Yes.
Okay, so let's be clear,
Yes.
that the nature of their relationship changed in that moment.
Shift.
He went with
Yeah.
one reason, she came in what they say for a reason, a season, a different reason, and then you shifted. You were
Yep.
more so like, oh, there's something deeper here that I need to
Yep.
learn from this woman, not
Yep.
seeking another man's
Yep.
stuff, but
Yep.
more so like my life needs a whole heavenly makeover. And
Yep.
that's where you were down at the bottom of your journey. Sometimes you meet men, it's hard. I can relate because I've met men where I can feel their energy and they almost want to be like, I wish you had met me at my top and not seen me at my bottom. But I'm always like, this is actually the real you. I can see how you
Mhm.
operate when you have nothing. I can see how you operate, when you're under pressure. But at the same time, them can't take you to eat, them can't take you out, them can't do nothing for you. So they feel bad. And we going on free dates. But they're like, Sue, I want to be like, it's weird when you meet a guy at their bottom, guys. I don't know, ladies, if you can relate, but I don't reject them because I know that's not the end of their story. But obviously, if you're meeting somebody in a different part of their journey, it for him particularly, there's
Mhm.
a self-consciousness, there's a feeling of inadequacy. This is my experience. I'm not going to speak for every man.
Mhm.
Where I've seen like they feel like I'm rejecting them. I'm like, bro, I'm not rejecting them. I can, pay for the date or whatever it is. But I mean, you can't uh, necessarily bring your full self when you feel like you are, or when you truly are
Right.
broken or broke. You
Mhm.
understand? So
Yes.
sometimes
Yeah.
we have to do the work before we can catch back up to where that
Yeah.
person might be. And then, like you said, you meet back in the middle. So when did the energy start to shift? When did she break up with the fiance? And when did it now turn from a wonderful, separate from romance, Christian heart work of finding God for yourself, yielding your life to God, and starting a whole different ministry within yourself
Okay.
to I am stepping back into the frame of mind as this could possibly be a potential mate and she is available. When did that shift? So it's a beautiful thing that she helped you get your soul
Yeah.
space aligned. So there
Yeah.
was no
So.
romance there. There was none of that. That was more
Mhm.
like her purpose was to lead you to a different, a higher level
Yeah.
in your spirit man. So when did it begin to evolve yet again? And y'all tip back into, wow, I have romantic eros desires for you.
As I said, when she brought me, when I got, back to the Lord, and she brought me then, or I guess I shifted into even a new peer group. So I still my best friend to this day for over 20 something years. It was a part of this peer group, uh, and his wife, and some others. So I shifted into that peer group, and now here's where we move into what you heard, um, that time, and just keep in mind, keep this in the back of your mind. My wife is still engaged. Okay, so I'm at work, and I may have misspoken. I said dream. It wasn't a dream. There's, God gives dreams, and then He gives visions. I had a vision. I was fully conscious. I was awake. I
Okay.
was at work.
Mm.
Uh, I was at work. I was working as a teller at the time, and I was in a back room, working on an ATM machine. And I was in a back room and filling up the ATM machine with money. I had probably about $80,000 of cash on the table behind me, and I'm in this room, and slowly the room fades out of my vision. I'm no longer seeing the room. The room is gone. So this is probably a 8 by 10 room that I'm in. And then the next thing you know, as I'm standing there, I'm fully conscious, fully awake. I am now, the room is faded away. And now I am standing in the balcony in the back of a church and looking down at the altar. And I see my wife, my now wife, I see her there in a wedding dress. And
Hold
I'm
on,
looking.
hold on, hold on. Thank
Yes,
you. This is where we getting.
yes,
I'm ready, ready, ready. Okay, let
yeah.
me focus again. Reading the chat, but let me focus again. So welcome again, those are watching. Wonderful special guest today, Links. One of my awesome, fantastic subscribers has opened himself up with his story of how he was given, as he puts it, not dream, vision
Mm.
of his wife. So this is the juicy part. So you are in your office, as you said, or doing your job basically, lose track of present time and space.
Yes.
Mind drawn, for lack of a better word, into another dimension, seeing, fully conscious, awake, if you will, not in a dream, not sleeping. I thought I was sleeping. No, awake, but in a different space and seeing this vision as you're describing it. And
Yes.
tell us again what it is that you saw. So you're in
So
the back room
I'm in
changing.
the back.
Tell us again what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'm in the back room. So literally, I've moved from the physical and the natural, and I'm now in a spiritual realm. I'm literally, what it felt like. It felt like, it looked like, it smelled like I was standing in my church at the time, Word of Faith Family Worship Center in East Point, standing in the balcony at the top in the balcony, and I'm looking down at the altar, and I see my now wife in a wedding dress. And keeping in mind, I had no language. I had never experienced this supernaturally before. As just backtracking, I told you when I had got saved, I had 3 nights of supernatural experiences that I'm like, okay, there is no way to explain what happened to me. Those 3 nights, but I knew it was God. And if I
Hold
tell,
on, let me just ask you. So had
yeah,
you said, was there any kind of like church revival going on, or was there any
no,
prayer or fasting going on before
no,
this, or anything that, some things prime your spirit? Was there
no.
any of that going on at all? No, this is just random. You had your regular relationship with God. You prayed in the morning, prayed in the evening, whatever, read your Bible, normal Christian, if you will, behavior. Nothing special was going on around this time. I just want to set the scene, because people will think, this was something just unique to you. So you're saying none of that happened, right?
No, nothing. Again, it was nothing out of the ordinary. I was praying. What I will say, at that time, I was probably the most open to God that I had, that I had ever been. So I was just, phew, I was open to God. I was so sensitive spiritually to different things, to different people, sense different things, all kind of stuff. So, but as I said, I was just doing a mundane task at work, and next thing you know, I'm not in that room anymore, and I'm in the church, and I'm looking at my wife standing at the altar. And there was I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear God speak to me, but it was without God saying, quote unquote, saying anything. It was communicated to me that was my wife. And when it happened and I came out of the vision, my very first words were no. I was like, no, because she was still engaged to be married to somebody else.
They asked like, now, was y'all at the same church? He was at the same church with you?
Yes.
You knew, bro?
Yes. No, I didn't know. He was still in New York. He was still in New York. So we had just, my wife, it was my wife, my best friend, and some others. We were part of a peer group. And so we would, when I say we were going after God, we were going after God. We just wanted to know. We were some young kids, our early 20s.
Christian soldiers. I hear you.
Yes. Yeah, we was on some fanatic stuff. When I say, we were praying, fasting, all kind of stuff. We were on some fanatic type stuff. And but yeah, when that happened, and I came out of the vision, I was like, no. I was like, God, no, because I wasn't thinking about marriage. I wasn't there. The concept of me even being in a relationship with her was gone. It was she's engaged. I'm good. I'm good. She's engaged. And then now, God, you showing me that she's to be my wife and she's engaged. How that work? How that doesn't make any sense. God, that makes no sense to me. But
somebody drop a comment, and if they've ever been given a vision and told or saw it and said no. Drop a comment. I'm just curious, because a lot of times we think things are unique to us, and I realize more and more as I live this life, so many people are experiencing similar things, but we never open up and we never share it. Is anybody had that happen to them? So after the no, what happens? You go home, or you keep working and you're thinking about this thing, or how long did that vision last, first and foremost?
You know what? I can't even put time was there. There was time was gone. So it was there. I can't even tell you.
Suspended. I understand.
Yeah, it was just there was no space and time where were non-existent. So now after this, I'm like saying no, and I'm going on with my life, and I didn't say anything to my friends. I didn't say anything to my parents. Nobody. I said I kept it to myself.
Nobody this
nobody happened. Didn't say this to anybody. And after that happened, that's when now I'm like, he's starting to stir. I'm like, yo, this is your wife. This is your wife. This is the one. And I'm sitting here like, still saying to myself, how you do this? She's engaged to be married. How's she gonna be my wife? And so it probably was about, maybe I probably didn't say anything for about 3 to 6 months. And I finally decided to say something to her. And here's the crazy part. This is again, this friends group. The friends had started a singing group, out of this peer group. They started a singing group, and they were given a gig at the Atlanta wedding show. So there was a wedding show at the Georgia International Convention Center, and they were invited to come there and sing. And this was the whole crew. This was the Christian crew, and I'm just there tagging along. And we were there, and there was a wedding dress fashion show that was going on. Lights were dimmed, and women were modeling wedding dresses. All the different designers were there, and I leaned over to my now wife. I leaned over to her, and I told her, I said, I need to say something to you. And I said to her, God gave me a vision and showed me that you're going to be my wife. And before I even said that, I'm like, oh God, my butterflies. I was nervous as all get out. And I leaned over to her and I said this to her, and she turns back to me and says, I don't believe that's from God. And my heart sank again. So I'm thinking,
pause.
Yes.
Well, let me just digest with you. Thank you guys for rocking with us. This is an interesting story, guys. I am just so many in between, like, whoa. All right. So prior to the vision, you had never made a move on her. She had never made a move towards you. All right. So my next question, if she have a fiance and he's in New York, bro, you sleeping on your game, bro. You sleeping on your game. You put a ring on it, and either one of us got to move, bro. Not no long period of time. I'm gonna have my girl down in Atlanta just out here looking. Okay, first and foremost, that's in my heart. I just had to say it out loud. So interesting for me, you didn't tell anybody, because a lot of people say, I've heard these things, I've dreamt these things. Thank y'all, chat, for chiming in and talking about dreams and visions you felt were God-given. You didn't tell anybody. A lot of people say I've learned not to tell people because people not ready. Did God tell you it was time for you to tell her, or you just thought in your spirit, okay, it's time?
It was something in this. I didn't have words to explain it, but it was just like, and I don't want to come with this Christianese, but there was like an unction. It was time. I needed to say something. I couldn't shake it. It was just like, it was time. So it was like the culmination of like, all right, I showed you something. Now you need to say it. And
so she slapped you with the no again, Bridget.
Slapped me with the no again.
Again with the yo, that hurts. I'm hurt. I'm not you, and I'm hurt.
It hurt.
Was it a gentle no? It was like a, hey, come out my face no. Like, what kind of no was
that? It was like, no. It was like,
what is it? What is it like?
It was a. I mean, my wife is, oh gosh, she's the most gentle, soft-spoken person. But when she means something, when she means something. And she said it gently, but it was a firm, gentle, I don't believe that's from God.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just, again, my heart was broken again, and I'm going back to God. I go back to God, and I'm like, God, you showed me this. You said this to me. How is it that you said this to me? I go open on my mouth and I say something, and then she, rejects me. I'm saying to myself, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking to myself, okay, if you telling me to say this, you've probably prepared her. She's ready to say something. Nah, kid, that wasn't happening. So I didn't say anything, and then here starts the confirmations that God would start to give to me.
Mm-hmm.
We would, I said, we were the Christian crew, and there was we started, the crew had started Bible studies. So we would, go to each other's house and have Bible studies. And then some of the older folks in the church would hear about the stuff that would happen at the Bible studies. So they're like, okay, come on over to our house, whatever. So we would go over, we'd have Bible study at different folks' house, and it I know it sounds so super spiritual.
No, it doesn't, because
You
I had
know,
a very deep spiritual phase in my early 20s. So I can relate to you.
yeah.
I was sold out for Jesus in a way that I don't even know if I could be close to God the way I was. I hear you on this. So it's not super spiritual. Some
Yeah.
of us can very much relate.
Yeah.
But that was my experience. I didn't want to miss a church meeting. I didn't want to miss a choir rehearsal. I didn't want to miss a Wednesday prayer because I was afraid that I would miss what God was saying to me. That's
Yeah.
how deep I was
Mm-hmm.
in Christianity,
Yeah.
particularly in my early to mid 20s. So I hear you. You're
Yeah.
not speaking out, especially of those raised 80s, 90s, maybe even early 2000s. The church played a pivotal role
Yeah.
for many of us, not all of us. So you're not, you're
Yeah.
not, you're speaking to many of us who can relate. But go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now, what happens is God said, he said this, and I say something, and my wife says no, and then now he starts to have, I was hurt, broken. I'm praying, I'm like, God, you said this to me. Then again, I go through the phase of, you know what? Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I was wrong. I know I wasn't, I wasn't high. I wasn't smoking any blunts. I wasn't drinking. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I just missed it. And I met a young lady. I met a young lady, and a beautiful young lady, and again, talking, and I'm like, okay, maybe this may develop into something. And we became friends. I didn't put a like Mac on her, but we became friends. And I invited her to our Bible study. And we ended up going to a Bible study at a friend's, that's in one of the older couples' houses, with in a bunch of other older couples. And we're there, and my now wife was there. That peer group, this young lady is there that I came in with that night. Me and her came in together. My wife and came with her friends. They all came separately, and we had opened up with prayer at that Bible study, and went through the Bible study the entire night. And then one of the minister's wives, she came up to me afterwards, and she said, during prayer, I heard God say that she's going to be your wife. I'm like, huh? I'm thinking she was talking about the new girl that I brought with me. And I'm
Hold on.
like,
Who said this? This is another
this
lady at the Bible study?
this was another lady at the Bible study.
You had not
Again,
told her about the dream?
no, no.
And she just said to the
She
group?
she said no. She came up to me afterwards, after prayer, after we had closed out with prayer, started with prayer. She said, in the midst of that, God spoke to her, and she said, "That's going to be your wife." And I had to clarify with her. I said, "Who are you talking about?
The girl I brought?
The girl I brought, or?" And she said it was my wife. And we were not there. We did not come together. We were not, they didn't see us together at church. We didn't sit together necessarily at church and whatever. So there was
Hold on. So
no.
tell me the age of this person. Was this like a church mother? Was this like an elder? Was this a deaconess, pastor? Was this just a person y'all's age who happened to also be on this deep spiritual journey with you guys? Who was this?
This was at the time, this was an older, when I say, we were in our 20s, this couple had to be in their late 30s, early 40s.
Okay, so kind of elder to you guys at the time.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
wow.
So
and the wife said to you, God told me
that is she's going to be your wife. So I'm sitting there like, okay, God. I'm like, okay, you're telling me this. If that's the case, I don't know how you're gonna make it work. And then after that, that's when God started doing his work.
Hold on now. We got some people in the chat got some questions. I'm moved.
Yeah.
I'm moved, y'all. Yeah, Suzette want all the tea. You know what, Chicago? Grandma, let me say, Suzette, you didn't tell me I was coming to church. Now I got to go find my slip. You know what? I love my chat. Y'all so funny.
Oh, man.
What they talk about? What does putting the Mac on her? You know what? Master Lion Tamer.
He know.
I seen that.
He know.
Harpo, I seen that. Don't be playing.
He know.
So this is my thing now, Roy.
Yes.
So the question came up. Did she distance herself from you when you told her the first time when you told her? Did she stop coming by, stop bringing you the pie, stop bringing you the prayer basket?
Yeah, the friendship, there was a change in the friendship. There was you could feel now that there was a distance in the friendship, because it's like,
was like, that's old Satan trying to get with me.
Yeah. So it's like, yo, this dude he knows I'm engaged to be married, yet he's telling me that God has said that I'm your, that doesn't make sense. That don't work.
Thank you, Spunks. Thank you, Spunks.
Yeah.
So go further. Did she tell her fiance?
Now, here's where, as I said, after that Bible study that night, that's when God started to do whatever he was doing. And I said, we didn't communicate outside. There was no phone calls or anything of that. So after I told her there was no phone calls or, hanging out or anything of that sort, there was a distance there that was created after me saying what I said to her. And next thing you know, out of the blue, she gets a phone call. I find this out later on. And this is part of the story I find out later, when God started doing what he was doing after she got a call from her fiance, and he told her he got married to somebody else.
Oh, hell no. I need some. This is why I need a soundboard. Whoa.
Yeah.
So the man was at New York playing games. I knew something was up. You don't have your bona fide fiance in a whole nother city while you camping in New York. That didn't make no sense to me, without any end game anyway, or plan for how we were going to come together and when. Nobody don't do that. Nobody don't move like that with a woman that you choosing to be your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody don't move. So I knew something was up. So he was up there frolicking and going on and having a good old time on her, and just call her up with, ladies, drop a comment. You know, this is not unheard of. Engaged to one woman and then suddenly pick up the phone and tell her, I'm getting married. That happened to my cousin.
Yeah.
We were shocked. I'm talking about shocked.
Yeah.
Go upon trip, take her all over, do other things. And he had another lady doing the same thing with, and ended up very abruptly, hi, I'm engaged to be married, and cut her off.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine. Okay.
Yeah.
So was she being faithful that whole time?
Yes. My wife was a virgin.
Stop. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my wife. My wife was ride or die. So,
So okay. So I'm heartbroken for her in this moment, because at first I was like, oh, is she out here playing games? Clearly she wasn't.
Yeah.
But he was.
Yeah.
So she get a call, broke up with him.
Get the call.
He broke up the engagement with her, said he was getting married, her fiance, And then what happens? Oh my.
I didn't know. So again, when she got the call and everything happened, this is nothing that I know. I don't know this. She's not communicating this to me. I don't know this. So I it's unbeknownst to me. We are fast forward. We're at a service at church. A prophet came in. He was in town, and he came and spoke to the church. Prophet Kervin Smith, and he came into the church, and he saw my wife and called her up, or told her to stand up, and he said to her, God has closed one door in your life, and he's opened another. Walk through it.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If y'all can see. Hey, not the one door closes, another door open. I hope this gives somebody some hope in here. Not the one fiance run off with the next gal.
Yeah.
So how long between the breakup did she tell you? You said she didn't tell you right away.
I would probably say she probably didn't say anything. I'm thinking that was probably about six months. It's about six to 8 months, because it was probably a January. And that prophet came to the church, and I know it was like that summer. So January, when I told her about what God said to me, and then there was the distance. There was nothing going on. Didn't say anything. We just continued on. We were friends, but there was a distance in the friendship. Going to Bible study, this, that, whatever. Just still living our Christian lives, living our lives as young people. And that at some point, I don't know what point in between where she got the word that this prophet says to her, God has closed one door, and he's opened another. Walk through it. Wow. So I'm sitting here like,
so you was still in your rejection. You didn't know none of this.
I knew nothing. Wow. So now,
but can I just pause you? And I know some people don't like when we interrupt, but we'll have to interrupt, because this is a beautiful thing in that I am hearing. And I think sometimes people think love stories have to be like picturesque and perfect, like how they told you grandmas and grandpas were, but they weren't, that part. And that life is very messy. Like, we don't try to make our lives messy, but life can be very messy.
Yeah.
So, and then God can still be working in that mess. Oh gosh, are y'all mad? Y'all don't believe it? Drop a comment. Because I think sometimes if he doesn't ride up on the white horse and have the perfect, come on ladies, resume, she don't have the perfect whatever, you may believe that can't be God because it didn't fit in your box of what we understand, or have this, I don't know, media induced belief that God does. But I'm always reminded that God uses imperfect people all the time. He did it from Bible days. The same people we would cuss right now and call them all kinds of names. And he was using them to build his kingdom, just as he would use who we think is worthy. So I just want to point out how, stories, sometimes we would say that's not God. But I would just pose the question, is it not? Because he does things in the most unusual ways, using imperfect people, imperfect circumstances to work his will. Drop a comment if you don't agree, or if you agree. But it's amazing to me. Again, people like that he picks up the pieces, y'all, is what I'm trying to say. We all want the perfect fairy tale, but that's not how life is.
Yeah.
It's just not how life is. And it's hard to accept sometimes. And we want to question that, but it's just not. Well, I just wanted to say that because I'm just hearing in my spirit, like, oh my gosh, this can't be God. Oh, is that God? It wasn't this. It wasn't that. He got left. That's life.
Suzette, I'm glad you said that, because this is one of the things as I've been walking with God. He's not, I can't even say that. God is not a God of chaos, but he can work in the midst of chaos.
That's it.
And he's not a God of chaos, but he works in the midst of chaos. Sometimes the very things that you don't think is God can sometimes even author chaos. Because he has to author the chaos, because there's no other way of getting to us. We're just not, there's just no, we're in such a place of comfort, or in our own space and way we're living, that it's like he has to our disturb our space to get our attention.
I was reading my comments. I could not agree with you more. Sometimes he got to stir the pot, so we turn to him.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
yeah.
y'all mad. And I don't want to be, sometimes people don't move because they don't want God to get involved, because they're like, I've messed it up so much. He can never do anything with this, but that's a lie.
Yeah.
He can use just the same as you, just the same as me, as broken, as messy, and as we've turned things. We have a legal term sometimes when an attorney will call me with a referral, and I will ask them about the case, and the first thing they'll say is like, this woman, she has complicated her life. You know what that's a nice way of saying? It's gonna be darn messy soon. You're gonna deal with a lot of crap that she caused, and you're gonna straighten it out, right? She complicated her life. That's a nice PC way of saying, damn, you could have done better, but you didn't. You didn't know how. Yeah. Right? So I think there's so much there. So tell me what happened next. So she gets the word. The prophet comes, speak a word over her.
Speak a word, yes.
Woo.
So
and then what happens next?
Mm-hmm. So now that he speaks a word, she now comes to me and says to me, ask me again, what did God show me? And what did he say to me? And I then start sharing the word with her. And she's like, okay. And she listens. And then she says, she comes to me and tells me, okay, thinking that maybe what God said to you is true. Because now of what happened, she's found out that, this guy has gotten married. So she prays now. She doesn't say anything to anybody. Again, she says nothing to nobody. She comes to me and just doesn't say a word to anybody, and prays. And she goes back and prays and says, God, okay, if this is you, speak to my mom and let her know, because that was her heart was broken. And the only person that she could trust at the time was her mother. And she said, speak to my mom and let me know if this is for me. And keep in mind now, mom knows nothing. Pops knows nothing. Her brothers know nothing. Nobody knows any. Our peer group didn't know anything. And lo and behold, her mom was at home. And I don't know, she was in the kitchen. She said she was in the kitchen and she was doing something, and God spoke to her. And my wife came home from school or wherever she was doing, and she said to her, baby, God spoke to me and said to me, told me about Kevin. My name is Kevin. You can call me Kevin, Links, whatever. But she said, spoke to me about Kevin, and Kevin is your husband. And she, at that point, she was like, okay, that's okay. If this is the case, let's do this. And that's when, we had a conversation. We sat down and had a long conversation, and we were like, okay, let's do this. And keep in mind, my wife she was still hesitant. Her heart was broken, but she was trusting God. This is like, okay, God, if you're saying if this is for me, then let's do this. And we had a conversation, and we decided, okay, we're going to start dating. And again, we started dating, but we kept it under wraps. We didn't say anything to anybody. Even our peer group didn't know anything at the time. And that then began, God started to then, started speaking to people and confirming, the relationship. It got to the point, I think we dated for about a year. And we dated for about a year, a little over a year. And I decided, okay, this is the girl I wanted to marry. I asked her father, for her hand in marriage, got her a ring. And we spoke to my best friend at the time, started having conversation with my best friend, and then me and my best friend at watch night service at church, both of us in front of a full church. There's probably about, I don't know, maybe 1,000 people in church. We both proposed to our then fiancés, now wives, in front of the whole church.
Wow. I'm speechless. I don't know whether to do a praise dance. I don't know what to do. I don't know, bro. This is wild, bro.
And
that's wild.
I got more for you, Suzette.
Suzette, okay, keep it going.
I got to step away for just a quick second.
Okay, keep it going. I'll do a quick reset. Take a
moment. All right.
So I'm grateful, guys. I'm looking at your chats, and I want to know what y'all have to think. I'm gonna drop the link. As link Links has been saying, this has been, I don't know. This is such a incredible story that I don't know what to even make of it. There are so many parts that I still have questions, and I'm sure if I have missed questions, I'm dropping the link, guys, if y'all want to come up, that I want him to answer. But I feel like this a whole Wednesday night Bible study. This is a whole Wednesday night. Y'all didn't know y'all was coming to Bible study. Y'all welcome. Yeah, it is nourishing my spirit, which I had the intent of. And I'm wondering, like, there's so many other parts. Oh, y'all in the back. Yes, come on up. Give him a second, because I'm sure I told him to bring his water. Thank you, first of all, for my Cash App. Thank you for showing love. Charles Brooks, thank you so much for your Cash App. Y'all know, if you are enjoying this type of content, I ain't passing no offer. I ain't passing no offering plate, but y'all can support if you want, if you feel led, if the church feel led. Again, if you're jumping on late, I see so many people pop in, pop out, go through, go up, go down. So I'm seeing we're holding steady with quite a few people in the chat. So thank you so much for watching, tuning in. I know, shout out to my my homegirl, Miss B Finesse. I'll be on her show tomorrow at, I believe we're like 1 or 1:30. Then I have my stream at 7 p.m. Yes, we are heavy. We're building a community here among those of us who are a part of the Lead Attorneys YouTube Academy. So she's one of the wonderful other beginning YouTubers, new YouTubers that I've met, and I'll be doing an interview with her. She'll be interviewing me, I should say. I'm excited about that for tomorrow, 1 o'clock, 1:30. So shout out to Miss B Finesse. If y'all want to show some love, y'all know the super chat, thanks to you, it has been activated. If you like this type of content, you want to support Black media, you want to support positive representations of Black culture, shout me out and support your girl. I really want to see where we can take this, and I'm grateful for all the support I've received so far. So Brooks from the ATL saying love from the ATL with the Cash App, my brother. Thank you so much for showing love. Links is back. I see you, Links. I know you had to take, I was like, I had you on the hot seat. I had to get up and stretch 2 times too, so don't worry. I don't know how TLA does it with his hips, because I got to stretch and get my back right. I can't be sitting in this chair this whole time. Got me going to the chiropractor. But yeah, show some love, please. Hit that like, please. We need more people to see content.
Yeah, hit the like button. Yes.
Hit that like. Y'all know what it is. I'm so grateful. We're going right to the guests in the back. I see TJ. I see you in the back. I thought Gorilla was in the back. Maybe he got dropped off. But I want to also hear your reaction to some of this. Links, I'm going to let you finish up your story. Then we're going to take some audience participation, please. So Links, I'm bringing you back up now. Thank you, my brother.
Hey, so yeah, so we decide now to date, and that was interesting. I don't know if we can really say we dated, but this was just our looking back at this, Suzette. It was literally an arranged marriage. God literally arranged this. This was not anything that I couldn't even create a lie this good. He literally arranged the marriage. And as I said, my wife was a virgin at the time. I was not a virgin. So I'm a young man. I'm in my prime.
You didn't have to tell us that. I think we got the fetish. You was having your hot boy summer. Let's go.
Look.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. In my head, I was like, "Nah, you know, you didn't have to tell us that." Okay, but yes, thank you for making that clear. Thank you, sir. Go ahead. Sorry.
So, I mean, we dated, and we saw each other. I mean, I was again. I'm working. I'm still working at the bank, so we really only got a chance to see each other on the weekend. So we see each other every weekend. And you know, I proposed to her, you know, and we're preparing for the wedding, and we're seeing each other, and you know, we would see each other. I'd go to her parents' house, and we hanging out. We were semi Netflix. We were almost Netflixing and chilling. Things would get. I'm just being transparent. Things would get hot and heavy on that couch, and I would have to get up. I'm just telling you. I'm being honest with you.
No, keep it real, bro. Keep it
We
real.
we were we. I was. My wife was. Oh, my wife was fine. Like, whew, my wife.
That
Fine.
brown skin, that melanin was popping. That melanin was
She
calling. Like, Lord Jesus,
she
we love
man,
you, but
she
damn.
got me. She got me. She had this burnt orange. I don't know. It was like almost like a tracksuit yoga pant type thing. I don't know why she decided to wear that in front of me. I'm like, my
She
wife
knew what time.
slim as my wife was slim as nice, looked nice already. And you know, um she was my wife was looking good. And you know, got hot and heavy. And now this is gonna sound crazy. So we dating, and it almost went there. One night I almost went there, and I got up, and I got up and I left. And I got in the car, and this is gonna sound crazy. I got in the car and I heard God speak to me audibly. I heard it from behind me. You know, it was like somebody was in the back seat of the car, and I heard, "Don't disrespect my daughter." And
The
talk
audible
about
voice of God. That
I
time you heard him straight up.
I heard him straight. I was shook. I was
Mm.
shook.
Mm.
I
Mm.
we didn't kiss again. I didn't kiss her again after I heard that. I didn't From the time I heard that to the time we got married. I did not kiss her again because I know them lips was nice, and I would have set me up. No, so I
But
this
the
and
Holy Spirit had your back. Hallelujah.
all I can say, it was God, for God to
So
keep a
let me
brother.
just ask you. So you were disciplined that entire time. Y'all never
Nope,
passed the threshold, if you
nope,
will.
nope,
God is good.
nope,
So you
nope.
stayed faithful. She stayed faithful to
Yep.
y'all's beliefs. Oh wow,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And
So
again,
right to
I
the
wasn't
altar.
ready.
How long was that between the engagement and the when you got married?
It was a year and a half. And
Wow.
the crazy thing was what happened. We were engaged. We were coming close to the time of the engagement, and her brother passed. Um, right, maybe a few months before we were engaged, and so her brother passed. So that ended up pushing the wedding back. And at the time, now I'd taken on a new position in the bank. I was making a little bit more money, but I'm like, okay, I'm getting married, but I'm just being honest. I'm like, okay, I didn't know how we were going to pay for this stuff. And this is where I'm saying God was all in this. And we were at a Bible study again, and my best friend, we were praying, and my best friend says to me, God said, I heard God say to me, he said he's going to pay for the wedding down to the last penny. And I'm like, okay. Because
Y'all
at that
getting
point,
words left and right, bro. Can I get
yeah,
a word, please?
at
Wow.
yeah, at
Wow.
that point, her father had secured the wedding venue, but that was it. We had not paid. We hadn't, no decorations, no, food wasn't paid for, none of that stuff. Honeymoon, we didn't have funds for the honeymoon. And God took me for those months that we were waiting. God started to teach me about faith. And the crazy thing was, and this is where, God does stuff, it's supernatural. It's not just a spiritual thing. There's a super and there's the natural that work intertwined. It's a mystery of God. I don't know how God does it, but he started giving me ideas at work. And these were money saving ideas. The bank I was working at was, you submit an idea that could save the bank money. They were going to give you some money. So at that time, I had gotten an idea, and I submitted the ID and I think I got like $1,000 for the idea. And taking a little detour here real quick, Suzette, I got the idea and I was like, man, okay, great. I got this money. It's going to be, for the wedding. And I said, okay, I got to tithe off of it. I got to give, I wanted to get, I'm like, I was still gun ho. I want to give some money. And, um, this is one night we were at, they were having prayer at church and we're at church and God speaks to me and tells me to write out a check for $600. I just got $1,000, and he tells me to write out a check for $600. And I'm like, what? And I get out, I leave the church, I go into the car, and I start talking to God. And I'm like, God, hold up. You want me to give this man $600? I'm like, how about if I give him 200 this week? I get paid, this. We need this. And I'm starting trying to negotiate with God. He was like, nope, and I didn't have peace. He would not leave me alone. I wrote the check out for $600. I go back into the church, and this is during a prayer meeting, whatever. And I go up and I give him one of them quote unquote holy handshakes. I slip him this check in his hand, and I walk back to my seat. He was up near the front. I walk back to the back, and I sit back. I'm standing back there, and I see him, open the check up and look at it, and I see his head drop. And he immediately gets out of the seat and walks back towards me and tells me to come outside. And he says to me, you have no idea what you did. You gave me $20 over what I needed, and I needed this money by tomorrow. And that was like, okay, that showed me that was a lesson in faith that God told me he's going to provide and pay for our wedding. And then he shows me how he provides for other people through giving that money to somebody else. $600. That's $600. I got 1,000. And he told me, and I gave it,
This is
so
wild. Links, I'm gonna let someone come up. TJ's been waiting patiently. I know when you get the urge to come up, and then in the middle of like coming up, you've moved on to another topic. Yeah. I don't want to get too far because this is good. And I see Grandma Levin talking about obedience over sacrifice. So Ace, I think, wrote, can Links come back and talk about the effects of obedience? They said, my Suzette, you need to start a spiritual channel separate from this channel. But we're gonna sprinkle it in because that's who I am too. That's definitely my foundation. So TJ, I'm going to bring you up. Welcome to the platform, Suzette Speaks Show. Hey, TJ, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Excellent, my love. What do you think of the show so far?
Listen.
Can you believe it?
Mr. Links. Okay, listen, you done took me back. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 54. And the 80s and the 90s was the boy.
Yep.
Boy, you took me back. The summer loves.
Yeah.
The letters.
Yeah.
You took me back. I'm sorry. You did.
It's all good.
But
tell us your thoughts. I'm gonna give you the solo. Go ahead.
Okay, so Suzette, I was like, okay, listen. You keep cutting it off at the good parts. I'm like, I'm chomping at the bit here. Stop it.
I can't help it. I'm like, ooh, hold it right there.
I'm like, but to God be the glory is what I have to say. To God be the glory.
Absolutely.
You're so right that, the love story that you may end up having or the love testimony you may end up sharing may not be, unicorns and rainbows like we're taught, but it's still beautiful. And I was saying that, the reason why that, Links and his wife didn't come together all those times that he had been reaching out to her is because in as much as God had told him that she was his wife, they weren't ready for each other at that time.
That's a word. Oh my. Oh my.
They weren't ready. And like, you're like, what the hell? I'm not ready. You told me. So, but you guys had to be ready at the same time.
Yep.
And oh my gosh. And then life, it has detours.
It does.
It it has detours.
Yeah.
And I get emotional because, I'm 54. I didn't get married and find the love of my lifetime until 3 years ago.
Wow. Wonderful, though. Wonderful.
Congratulations.
Wow.
So again, but nothing was wasted though. Because again, all the tears I cried. I ain't gonna tell everybody.
Trust me, I did it right here on YouTube. If y'all didn't see my show, Love for Ambitious Women, I had a moment. I almost flipped out. I said, and I've never, how much people I've talked about to my friend group I talked to about that. I said, I've been doing workshops, conferences, and I always recognize when that's going to happen to somebody else. Women come to my stuff and break down all the time. It ain't never happened to me. And I said, God, you're going to put me on YouTube and let me have a deep-seated reaction to clearly something I felt some type of way about that I didn't.
How about two of my sorority sisters that have been married for over 20 years got together with their husbands because of me. And I'm the one that wasn't married.
You're like, I'm tired of being a bridesmaid. I'm tired of trust
but
me,
you're so right.
Ladies, if you can relate, let us know, because trust me, I hear what you're saying so loud and clear, but God is still faithful. And may I ask you how you found your husband? Just curious, because some of us single ladies want to know, inquiring minds want to know. Where did you guys meet?
A shameless plug. I talk about our love story on my channel.
Oh, okay. No.
We met online, interestingly enough.
No way.
And I have
like a Tinder?
It's funny because neither one of us knew that the site that we were on was notorious for hookups.
No, wait, what were we talking about? Plenty of Fish?
Plenty of Fish. Neither one of us knew. We didn't know.
That's funny.
Yes.
Y'all was swimming with the fish and y'all didn't know what was going on, but y'all found each other. God is good.
And he found out about the site because he watched it on Judge Mathis when two people were suing each other. He didn't think it was a real site. But but that's how we found each other. And here's the thing, ladies, and I've said this, and I want to share this with you too, Suzette.
Absolutely.
I've had a 20+ military career. I was in I just retired from civil service, just actually thanks to my husband to let me do it. But when he saw my profile, he looked at my profile, but he didn't reach out to me. So when I went to my profile to see who had looked at me and I saw he did, I went to his profile and I saw this beautiful smile and saw he was a truck driver. And so when we started communicating, I asked him, I said, I saw that you looked at my profile, but why didn't you reach out to me? He says, well, I didn't think you'd be interested in a blue collar truck driver like me.
What? Wow. If I hear that one more time.
Because here, and that's what I talk about. Women, sometimes we lead with our accomplishments, because my profile was all about, I'm a military officer in 2 branches of the military. I have this degree. I have this. I've done this. I'm an independent. So I led with that.
I hear you.
I led with that. So when he looked at what I led with, he's now, well, shoot, what was she, why would she find something, in the truck driver? So I almost missed out on the love of my lifetime leading with the wrong stuff. I'm just saying.
That's a word. That's a word.
I'm just saying.
That's a word.
So we talked, and I would love when you talked about, and this is why I really want the young people to get it. Even though it was in the 80s and the 90s, you and your wife had conversations.
That's it.
You wrote letters. And mind you, that's what we had to do, but it's still relevant. I just did a show the other day about love songs. Me and my husband still send love songs to each other because he's on the road. We send love songs to each other. I still have his handwritten note that he wrote me after our second date.
There's still romance, Lord. Thank you. That's beautiful.
And you said your son laughed at the letter, but tell him, hey.
No, keep that thing.
That'll set him aside from the other men. That's for sure.
Exactly. Exactly. You got to have some game, they said. You got to have some game. You better put it on.
Yes. So I love your story. And I would love, Chicago Rilla said, Auntie TJ, you should have him on your show. So if you would, I would love to have you to get a man's perspective. I would love it. And you know what? Because I did an interview with my husband to talk about what men look, because men look at things differently than us.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to have you on to get another male's perspective, but I'm just so inspired and so encouraged by your story. And I want, men and women to see, okay, yeah, it don't always come the way you want it, but it's so sweet when you get it.
Oh, well, thank you, TJ. I appreciate that. Shout out to TJ. Y'all check out, what's your channel called?
Mosaic with TJ Randolph.
Mosaic.
I think one of your mods put me in the
please drop her. Thank you so much for coming up, TJ. I've enjoyed talking to you. Come up anytime. Appreciate the wisdom. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye now. Woo, okay, y'all. I'm gonna be on Plenty of Fish tomorrow. Not the Plenty of Fish. Didn't even know it was fishing. Hello.
Hey.
God has his hand out though. Like she was there, he was there, and she got a word there about leading with accomplishments. Even though in my mind, again, men can see it differently. I'm gonna evaluate that because I think that is a big deal, and I think sometimes we're not even intentional. We're not trying to, but it may seem that way. I'm gonna eat that, chew on that a little bit more. Go ahead.
I'll say this: men and I know we in the space of this alpha, sigma, beta, theta, omega, simp, all that stuff. Men need to know that they are needed and can be needed. So if a woman is leading with her accomplishments, what space can I fill in?
I'll tell you what space. I'll tell you.
But if that is what's put out,
be like, dude, like, hello.
If that's what's put out, it's like, no. I mean, there's nothing that I can offer. At least that's the appearance that is placed out. There's nothing that I can offer. So it's like, no. I mean, men have a need as much as we don't want to.
No, that's real. That's definitely real.
Need to know that we are needed in some. So
you're saying beyond physical need?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's God. The way that we are wired in such a way that we are givers. We are anatomically wired that way. Mm-hmm. We are, mentally wired that way. We are givers. That is part of our makeup as a man. That's why when men can't provide and can't give, they feel less of a man.
Absolutely. But my thing is, if I reach out to you and I'm checking for you, why wouldn't you think I wouldn't want you? Like that I wouldn't need you? I find that perplexing to me. Maybe I'm missing it. But I'm always like, but bro, I reached out to you. I thought you was cool. But then it can feel as if, all right, that's a whole nother conversation. But okay, Links, you might have to talk to me offline and give me some deep thought. I appreciate you. I see the back is open, you guys. We'll take a few more people. Gorilla, Chicago Gorilla is in the building. First of all, he's had some of the best comments in the stream. First of all, thanks again for TJ coming up, blessing us. Everybody's talking about the 90s out. The 90s was so great. I thought it was Christian Mingle too. When she said it, I thought it was Christian Mingle too. I'm 50 and single. Hey, all right, Ebony. And look, she got married 3 years ago. So I find that very, there's promise. I see it like, you're so funny. Thank you. Dre Terry, appreciate you. Thanks for the super chat. Facts. That was a beautiful moment, Suzette. Dope. Thank you so much. Yeah, we got to learn from one another. Cross genders, cross generation, cross everything. Not everything that is old is far gone, right? It's some things about, like we're saying, how men are wired, women are wired, that ain't changed that much. That we can learn and pick up some good solid advice from. So I'm gonna let since he's here, Chicago Rilla Wagwan. Hello.
Watagwan Star. You hear me? Big up on yourself. Big up on yourself.
Big up on yourself.
Big up.
Yeah.
Brap. Yeah.
Sir, you get the award for the best commentary throughout this stream. Thank you very much. How you doing today?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. I'm rooting for everybody black. Suzette, I saw you. I caught wind of you on TLA joint. Yo, you absolutely 1000% did your thing. So
Thank
y'all forgive me
you.
if I'm struggle streaming because I'm on the way to the crib. But
It's all good.
you know, I just wanted people in the chat to know, like, Lynx is my guy. I had no idea he was pulling up on you, but the conversations that me and dude had, and I've known him for decades,
Oh,
and
wow.
the amount of wisdom that he has poured into me over the years, and even as I've been on my YouTube journey, on certain platforms, the moments where he will check me and hold me accountable behind the scenes. I just want y'all to know, like, the way that he's speaking on this platform right now is 1000% authentic, true, and there's no cap in nothing what he's saying. Nothing that he's saying is nothing that I haven't heard before. So it's not like he's fabricating any part of his story. He's not embellishing anything to make anything look pretty or cute or anything like that. And Suzette, you know, honestly, here's the thing. I posted in the chat that, like, this is the female version of TLA. And here's the thing. On TLA's channel, he started out one way and then he had to pivot when I don't know if it was a demand, but I guess the audience responded. But I can just tell you, like, the energy in the chat and from what people are saying, and even if you look at your ratio of likes to people that are viewing, you are killing it. And this type of conversation is needed in this space.
Oh, thank you.
There's so much chatter going on with men around we don't need women and and you know, we
I've noticed.
And what is a God anyway? You know, you can't prove God exists. I can't disprove God exists. And you know what Lynx was talking about, I was in Atlanta around that time. That was a time where we practiced the presence of God. Anything was possible around that time. Listen, Suzette. God could drop something in your spirit at any moment. Why? Because we were taught during that time the act of you breathing, inhale and exhale, is practicing the presence of God.
My goodness.
Don't
start.
I know.
Listen, that root, what you talking about runs deep. No, but it's a good thing to have an awareness of, because I think, especially when I was in that season where I was so keen on an awareness, looking for God in any and every place, anywhere, anything I do, he shows up. It's so weird that now when I'm like, lackadaisical for me in my walk is how I feel. It's not, I feel like a distance. I know God is everywhere, and they said nothing can separate me from his love, and I'm literally riding that grace and grandma's prayers. But I hear you, and I think that reawakening is going to be good for me and for someone else watching. That it's a beautiful thing. It's a pure thing.
The people
thank
are hungry. And if you look at the chat, the people are responding and the people are hungry. I might be struggle streaming. I apologize, but
no, you're good. You're good. I didn't want to interrupt, but I was listening.
No. I was just saying the people are hungry, and that's why they're saying, "Hey, Suzette, you may need to do a different version of this," because they're getting fed. And what's crazy is, I prayed for Lynx to bring the word today because he's been quiet for so long. He's been patient on the sidelines for so long. And I'm like, fam, you can't just keep giving me this. You got to give, because wait till he goes into mentorship. Wait till he goes in and breaks down what mentorship is, fam.
Yeah.
Wait till he goes into that. But
no, I could tell that he's the real deal. Thank you, Chicago Gorilla.
Thank you for allowing me on the platform, man. I appreciate
you're fantastic, because we need people to co-sign that. Yo, what you see is what you get. So that's exciting.
More super chats. He's already gotten another invite. Super chats.
Yeah, more super chat. Appreciate you. Thanks for
big
coming
up on
through.
Yourself.
Big up yourself too. Thank you very much, Chicago Gorilla. I love that. Look, your brethren had to come up and was like, yo, what you see is what you get. This is my boy. This is real. Y'all go way back, sounds like. Wow.
That's my boy. We have some good conversations.
It sounds like it. I can tell you're just a deep individual. Like even from when we first had our little quick prep call, I was like, oh yeah, he's taking this very seriously. So I'm gonna read a few more chats. If y'all want to come on, I'm definitely open. Link say he's good, so I'm gonna drop the StreamYard again. So if you want to come up, make your comments. Links, I want to get back to your story. People are asking, why do men think that we don't need them if we are, saying that we are whoever we are with our paperwork or whatever. Because clearly we need them. I kind of feel like it's unspoken. Duh, I need you.
But
right? But maybe not.
Communication happens on three levels. You communicate by word, you communicate by word, you communicate by spirit, and you communicate by deed. So on some level, people talk about, folks' energy and stuff like that. There is in some way, shape, or form, people are communicating to others. There's body language that folks read, emotions, all kind of stuff. You could be saying one thing, out of your mouth, but your body may be saying something else. You could be saying, again, you reach out to somebody, you're on a dating platform or whatever, and you make the move to reach out to somebody. But as TJ said, your profile is saying something else, and it's showing, that, it's a mixed signal, and don't
let it confuse us. All right, so you got to be careful. Your body and your mind and your spirit not saying something different.
Yeah,
I hear you.
You have to be.
Your mouth, you can be saying it, but what other things, deeds, as you're saying, can show maybe I don't. I'm aware, and I'm going to be more aware of that. I like that, and thank you for asking that. Key. I'll fill the space. Sorry, Doug. I'm sorry. That was a little off color. I'm sorry. That was. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I will keep it a little bit more PC. So true women usually want to date above, not lower. I was going back and talking to some of my mentors about this, because professional women marrying, if you will, working class men is nothing new, particularly in the Black community. This has been happening for some time. I don't know why we acting like, oh, this never happens, and people, oh, okay, wait, hold on, TJ back. TJ, you came back. You want to come back? All right. You press the button, or that was an accident? TJ, you back? Okay, you back. Come on, TJ.
Yeah, you done made me come back. You done made me come back.
Because I'm there asking about it. So I don't want to be like, you're living this.
And see, Links, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. We've got men on the panel.
Yep.
You say, women say, why do they think we don't need them when we do? We say we need them. But Links is on the mark. We say it, but what are we doing? And what I mean by that is because particularly if we've been single for a long time, we know nothing but to do it, as opposed to falling back, letting them do it. Because we as women, especially if we've been single for a long time, we think we don't intend to run roughshod over our men, but because we're doing it like this, if they don't do it that way, we have a tendency to want to take it over because we've been used to doing it.
I hear you.
And see, my catchphrase for this past week is how we play ourselves.
Please explain.
Because we say we want a man to do stuff, but then we don't let him do it.
No, we got to let him do it. No, period. I hear you.
And also, we women, hey, listen, I have a couple of degrees. I'm an oldest of my siblings. I was a single mom. I was in the military, 2 branches of the military. I get I'm pretty, pretty whatever. They don't care. They really don't care.
Yeah, and they don't care about. That's what I've been hearing. This is what I'm understanding.
They don't. And I was saying, my husband and I have been together for 3 years, been married for 2. I just retired, like I said, because of him, I was able to do so. But the whole time, you can look up how much money I make. If you knew what my grade was in the federal government, you can see it. But my husband never asked, never knew how much I made because he never cared.
Oh, wow. I think that's a good thing. Yeah, I hear you.
But we're so used to being in charge, we don't know how not to be. And that's how we play ourselves. I'm just saying.
You might have to come on and do that's a whole nother can of worms. But I hear you. Am
I right, Mr. Links?
No,
I don't think you're wrong. Because I've seen it I can't, well, maybe I need to see it within myself, but I see it when it comes to my girlfriends and people who are dating and other people. I'd be like, yo, load the man. Don't answer back. That was a rhetorical question. Just let him, I don't care how he does whatever it is, fill in the blank. Just let him do it. You asked him to do it. So now don't come back and say you don't like how he did it. He didn't do it right. He didn't do it your way. Whatever. Just, I hear you and I see it in practice as well. Link, sorry. Go ahead with your.
No, I just how I would say it this way is that pride gives off an air of it's off-putting. Pride is off-putting, whereas humility is attractive, and that is something that both sides need to express. The word bless,
openly and outwardly, yes, to one another.
The word to bless or bless in the actual in the ancient Hebrew, in the Hebrew language, and if you look at the actual Hebrew lettering, it gives a picture of, when God said he blesses, it actually gives a picture of God kneeling down before the person that he is blessing, and it is an honoring of the person. So it is an act of humility, and in that act of humility and showing humility to one another, it shows there is a need. That shows that there is an openness to receive as well. And unfortunately, for many of us, it's both male and female. We've gotten into the places we're so self-sufficient, and in that self-sufficiency, that is fostered pride. And to move out of that pride to a place of humility and openness, it's hard to do. But if you don't, then you can't. How are you going to receive? You can't receive. There has to be some sense of openness or humility to receive. If you don't, you can't receive. An open hand can't receive, anything. A closed hand can't receive anything.
Yeah. You want to add anything? I see we have somebody else in the back, but go ahead.
Suzette, you said that women have been marrying working class men for years, and that is true.
Yes.
But what is different is that how we market ourselves and how we lord over that. We are a lot more boastful of what we've accomplished. That is the difference. It's not a difference that we're marrying working class men, because many men had to go to work, whereas that the women were sent to school.
Right.
That's not
real.
new.
That's real.
But what is different is that we use it, and for lack of a better phrase, we weaponize it like we're somehow better. And this is something I had to learn, and God gave me the husband that I wanted and needed, but didn't know that I wanted, just like my grandfather. One thing about my grandfather didn't talk a whole lot. But when he did, he had something to say. So what that meant for me, for my husband, I know I can talk a lot. So what that means for me is I need to be quiet more and not speak over him. If it takes him, because he's thinking about everything he says, I don't need to jump in and think and say what I think he's going to. I need to just be quiet and be patient, let him say what he needs to say. We women, because our minds are always thinking, particularly if we are in a profession where we have to think and speak, we don't know how to sit back and be quiet and be cute. I'm just saying.
Ooh, it's a jarring comment, but I hear you, because I think that just goes to interpersonal skills. Whether I'm at a law firm or not, how I present myself when I meet the client for the first time, I can't, overtake the situation. I have to make myself small, if you will, so that they're comfortable with opening up and telling me what it is that, that happened to them. And I think sometimes we do leave that much needed skill set at work, because you'll do it with your boss. And I'm talking about myself, and I'll do it with a client. So when we come home and our partner, our husbands or whoever needs that same tender care, we're not doing it. We're expecting a different type of interaction and reaction, when it may actually call for what you're talking about, which is that soft reaction, which is my favorite word. I try to tell a couple of my homegirls is ask him, what do you think? And shut up. Don't say nothing else. Don't give him what he's supposed to think. Don't offer nothing else. Just say, what do you think? If he really matters to you and you've already voiced your opinion, what about closing the door, on yourself, on your desires, on your needs, and say, wait, what do you think? And just listen, not listen and hear to quickly respond, but to hear out where he stands. And I think, and I'm learning to practice this, help me, God, I'm not perfect, but I hear you, sis, because oftentimes we drop that sensitive communication when we walk into a relationship. Why? I don't know. Because that's the main person that needs that sensitivity and that empathy and that compassion. All of a sudden, we fighting, and we think of that person as somebody in which we have to, dare I say, compete. Somebody help me. But I hear you. And just, I don't know if I would say cute and quiet, not my words, perhaps. You can say
those are my words, and I mean everything I said. I said what I said.
You back it up. Hey, everybody has their opinion here. But I do think
there's a time and a place for everything. And what I mean by that is
yes.
I don't have to, it's not necessary to tell everybody how smart I am. And my mother told me that. Especially it's not important to tell everybody, particularly your man, how smart you are. Be quiet. And that's why I say that. And I'm going to tell you, we've been together for 3 years. I never knew that I could be in a relationship that there was no fighting.
Wow.
We've had disagreements, but never any fighting. And it goes back to what Link said, is peace. It's peace, because I'm not competing. I don't have to show him how much I can get done, how smart I don't. And I have never, and I'm going to be honest, I have never in my life, my friends have said it, my family has said it, have never been as joyful and happy as I have been in this last 3 years. And I've been basically a housewife since May.
Lord.
And I never knew how great it could be. So yeah, I said, and what I love, and I'll be cute and quiet when my husband comes home. I sure am.
I think, listen, there's so many lessons and expectations that we have of the opposite sex. For some reason, when we get in that relationship, we can be sensitive to them in other circumstances. But for some reason, the person that we're at home with, that we sleep with, that we see day in and day out, we don't necessarily offer that much grace to. We expect some mind reading, not everybody. We expect a level of I don't know. I just go understanding where I'm coming from versus let me hear where he is coming from. Let me peep his needs as well as he is trying to figure out my needs as well, and not approaching it from, I don't want to use the word aggressive stance, but I would say maybe a non-empathetic stance for who, you love and you say you love, what he's going through and where his mind, his body, his spirit is, as opposed to selfishness. And what we were talking about is basically, we're talking about arrogance. We're talking about not having humility and selfish. And that's what happens, I think, when we live alone and we live for long periods by ourselves. We're not even aware of this sometimes. That's why I'm like, I got to get around people. I know it's a pandemic, but I got to get around
married people.
And yes,
my daughter, I have a 27-year-old daughter.
Yes.
They've been married for 3 years, together for 5. And again, she didn't learn how to be a wife from me because I raised her primarily as a single mother. But she said when she knew she wanted to be married, she started hanging around married friends. And that's all I got.
That's all right. We're gonna let you go. Let me get the favorite network. Thank you, TJ. Back again. She said, let me do a follow-up real quick since y'all up here. Hey,
hi.
The favorite network.
Hey.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I'm so good. I'm just over here taking notes.
Yes. How are you doing? Tell us what you're thinking about the conversation.
This conversation reminds me of the inbox I sent you. Remember, I had so much to say. And
you sent me let me just say it, several voice notes.
Yes.
Beautiful stories. Tell us about it. Yes.
And basically, Miss TJ just affirmed some of that. And so when she said that, I'm a paraphrase, when she said the alpha man shows up, the woman, we don't know how to fall back and react. And Brother Links just looked like he wanted to say amen, but he bit his lip. Okay. And remember, I inboxed that to you.
Yes.
And I've been trying. I'm 53 years old. I want everybody to know. So I'm speaking from some experience. I've been married before. And I used to go to Word of Faith here in Detroit, by the way. Yeah. Okay, I think his son went to Atlanta. So, but I just want to say that this reminds me, Steve Harvey said the same thing. Think like a woman, act like a man. I'm sorry, vice versa.
Think like a man,
act like a lady.
Yes.
And it goes to what Kevin Samuels was saying. It goes with what TJ just said. Why are African Americans, we're the only culture, it seems like the highly educated woman is causing a problem, right? And so it goes back to when a man comes home, he needs a soft place to land. He has to compete out in the world all day. He's not trying to come home and it needs to be.
And fight you.
Exactly.
I'll say it.
Exactly. And so when TJ just said, get around married couples, because this will help you get into that role that you want to fulfill, and everything like that. So I took some notes. I have to be honest. I used to wonder why my stepfather was cutting the grass, and because my mother would complain how he cut it. So he said, well, then you cut the grass.
No. This is the problem. Good example.
Yes.
This is the problem. Stop complaining about little stuff.
I'm here to tell you.
He's contributing. He's showing this is my part of making sure this household is taken care of.
Yes.
And we still got a problem with the grass cut.
I'm here to tell you.
That's his domain. Shut up and go inside.
Preach. I've seen married women go
Bring
behind
the lemonade.
their husband.
How about that?
You don't like the way he made the bed, you remake it. You don't like the way he cleans up or wash the dishes, so you go behind him and redo these things. And so but I had so many notes and everything. But the other thing that I'm thinking of is when Steve Harvey was on Oprah way back in the day, 5 wealthy, not rich, wealthy Black women Skyped live on Oprah. 4 of them, they remain quiet and they listen. Steve could not get a word in edgewise with one of them. And he said, she said, why should I wait for a man to buy a house? And why should I wait for a man to start a business? He said, I never told you to wait. I have all these daughters and I would never tell them to wait to do any of these things. He said, what I'm trying to tell you is that if a man, when a real man shows up and he does not see where he is needed, he will go where he is needed, and I've heard so many.
For the people in the back.
Okay.
Because I think what we get, and I've been just a little bit, I haven't watched a lot of other YouTube channels when it comes to like this pick me or pick Misha, they might call it.
Yes.
Foolishness. Or at least of the definitions I've seen of it, I don't think are healthy and serving women, Black women, women of color. But sorry to interrupt, but
that's okay.
The idea that wanting to be agreeable or not be right at every point in turn and overly corrective. And we think this is the thing. We think we're helping him. This is the thing. We think we got the answer and we have, some sort of insight. And I think some women do mean it or intend for some of what may come across to the man as being henpecked, as loving. But that ain't loving. For many people, they need that space. They want to have a domain, or as Lynx is calling it, to be needed and to not be, kind of overridden in every aspect of their lives. Like you have to have, which I say, discernment in when to lead and when to follow. And I think that's an art. Again, we do it at work. But for some reason, those same life skills, when we apply them to the home front, we all of a sudden turn that off and turn into, like, I don't know, maybe the media expectation of what marriage is supposed to be. But the same tender love and care, the same understanding of one's needs, the same levels of communication and quietness gotta come forward. And I think that you're hitting home also a good point with that. There is a lot of miscommunication, and I think the single world that don't let us understand, because we're not around married people, it's not going to be a battle down to the T for every single thing. You got to walk away. You got to show love. You got to say respectfully, I disagree, but baby, go ahead.
If you study other cultures, you will see in Asian cultures, in Latin cultures, some African cultures, the women really do have the power. We don't have the authority, but we have the power to influence. Even before Christ was crucified, the person with the authority bounced off of his mate during pillow talk. What do you think I should do? When you watch the iconic gang lord movies and these things, those men, they bounce off of the woman. What should they do? And in a lot of Asian cultures, the man is the one who voiced to the family the choice, but the matriarch made the decision
privately.
So Eastern culture, men and women know the yin and the yang. They know that God put something in the man, the woman is lacking, and vice versa. And so they know we need each other. Like I said before, the two pieces of the puzzle are shaped differently. We come together and make a whole picture. We need each other. And so for some reason, I hate to say it, but the Black and white Americans, it's a battle, it's a competition, and we're not equal.
Yeah.
We're uniquely different. And and because I've worked with so many cultures here, and I just see how unfortunately the Black relationships, we're lacking in that. And I talk to a lot of women in their 30s, a little bit in their 20s, especially in their 30s, and I'm just letting them know, like TJ said, it's true. Let him, when you're dating, if possible, see if he'll take out your trash or pull your trash can in, or there's things that you can see if this is in his nature to do it, and allow him to do those things. And when you have this man show up, if he wants to open doors and pull out chairs and pay for something, allow him to do these things. And I say this all the time, subconsciously. I shared this with Suzette. I still have the article in Essence magazine from the 80s, and it said that Black Americans, we're subconsciously, we're raising our daughters and we're spoiling our sons. And it's only because, and I've said this before, our husbands were ripped out of our homes in Africa. Our sons, our nephews, and our brothers, we come over here, same thing happens again. We lost so many to all the wars, Vietnam and everything, drug addiction, gang violence, prison, and everything. And so there's a lot of reasons why you mean no harm. You're raising your daughters. This is why we weren't taught that, Suzette. You raise your daughters to be able to stand self-sufficiently if they needed to. And we just took it over the top. And we're on automatic pilot. And just in case you don't, until you find your suitable mate, you can make it on your own. And you are self-sustainable in these kind of things. And so what parent would not equip their children to reach their full potential?
But you're going to have to switch.
Thank you. Exactly.
This is the thing. Yep. God help me. God help every person who says they want a relationship. If you come out with that, I think it was Gaston's World. Shout out to Gaston's World if he's in here. Gaston, get on up here if you're dressed and ready to go. He loves to talk about this. We've had some, and I've only met Gaston through YouTube Elementary, through TLA, and he's been awesome. Gaston talks about that, and we've had deep conversations about that, where he's like, Black women, I don't want to put words in your mouth now, but have been in survival mode. Mm-hmm. But when it's time to stop surviving, we can't switch. And I'm making a broad generalization. That's not every Black woman everywhere, every time, every moment. But for a good swath, if we're not careful, we're going to take survival mode into a marriage, into a relationship, and it will destroy it, because you're not on survival mode when you have, hopefully, that person that has your back. And we can't sometimes switch it off or understand when and if it's appropriate. I think Abigail, hey, Abigail Cousins in the building, had a beautiful stream about her experience surviving sexual abuse. Check it out. She wrote about, every emotion a woman have. You don't need to tell your man it. Ooh, y'all mad. You might need to process it with a homegirl. You might need to process it with a different, friend. But having your husband does not necessarily mean he is everything to you all the time. Help us all, Lord. because we have high expectation. When we finally get that man, when we finally get that woman, we're like, ooh, they done solved every problem ever for our lives. No, they haven't. They have their own sentient being. They have needs. They have emotions too. They might not be ready to talk. Maybe they want to talk. Maybe they want to walk in and just be quiet for a minute. Maybe they have to. Women have this thing everybody knows, or maybe most of us know. We download our day. We want to tell you everything that happened today as soon as we get through the door, and we just got to tell you. Maybe we got to pause a little bit first and read the temperature, because we do it when we're at work, when we walk into a boardroom, when we walk into a meeting, we read the temperature. But for some reason, when we come into our household, we want to pick and choose which sides that we bring with us, and sometimes it's not the side that's serving us the best. So it's not a critique. I say it to say, let's be more self-aware. Are you in survival mode when you deal with your significant other? Are you?
Exactly.
Are you leaving space for them?
Yeah.
How do you speak to them and when? Are you asking, what do you think? And quiet. And truly listen to what he's thinking. How open to a graceful heart are we? Are we always right because we got a degree? I hope not. I'm not like that. I know so many of my girls are not like that. I hope in the relationship space. But we have to be aware the personalities that we're bringing with us that serve us when we're in survival mode, serve us when we're in work mode, may not serve us. Like, you quiet, bro. Auntie Faye got me hype.
I know. I'm just listening, and it as I hear the what it all to me, what it circles back to is a humility that we need to show towards one another. There is an understanding that we are not showing towards each other. How I look at understanding is, to me, two people standing on the same level. One person is not standing above the other person and speaking over the other person's head. Another person is not standing below and speaking below them, but you have an understanding, and then you are able to see, speak, and hear each other and see each other eye to eye and have an understanding. Mm-hmm. And in that, there is humility that takes place. Pride cannot thrive. If you're in any relationship, pride cannot thrive. There's another thing. I mean, that there's a lot of stuff that we have. There's a lot of trauma that has gone on in our community, from our families that we have not processed. There's a lot of unforgiveness that we have. That a lot of us, because of that unforgiveness, you can't be open to something else. You are, when you have that unforgiveness, you are perpetually stuck in that place of where an offense is taking place in your life, and at some point you may have shelved it away, put it away, but you are still operating out of that place. In our lives, pain is what is common to our lives is pain. Pain is common to the human experience, but your response to pain determines how you can thrive, or how I say it, pain will do one of two things in your life. Pain will either perfect you or pain will pervert you. And it's your response. I can go into the gym and I can lift weights and I know that I'm going to be hurting. But if I don't take the time to rest and take care of how I've hurt, I can't go in and overwork myself. I did this to myself. I haven't been back in the gym in a while. I got in the gym and I could barely press 100 and something pounds. I couldn't even press 100 pounds. By the time at the end of the year, I'm pressing, I'm hitting 300 something pounds, and my pride got to me, and I'm like, okay, let's see how much. And I did something to my shoulder, and I didn't deal with that pain, and I still have that issue. And I now live with that issue because I did not process or handle that pain properly. And that's a lot of times that we don't do. And we carry these things into our relationships, into our interpersonal, connections and with each other. We don't forgive. We don't let go of the pain.
And we're currently punishing who is in our lives for who caused the pain back in the day. Yeah, that's a word in and of itself. I'm gonna let Faye make her final comment. Sunbreeze says she gonna cut the grass together. I don't know about that. Let the man cut the grass, bro.
Right.
Yo, stay inside. Oh my goodness. Go ahead, Faye. Finish your point. Thank you. And I want. Oh, Gaston's World is in the back. We're gonna have him up next. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm a co-sign for. Is it Chicago Rilla? Did I say it correctly? Okay.
Yes.
I'm familiar with him on some other streams. I want to affirm what he said to you, which is what I learned: the difference between your passion and your gift. Your passion, for an example, I could love flowers, but they all die. Or I love to sing and I can't carry a tune, for an example. Your gift will make a way for you. Your gift will make your way. And that's what's happening with you, Suzette. Your gift is it's making a way for you. And I just want to thank you for bringing this conversation to the table. And I'm just going to keep supporting you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. You know, you could come up anytime. She gives me feedback, showing love over there on Instagram. I appreciate you so much. Hit me with a super chat. I thank you, love. Thank you so much. And I appreciate your wise comments here and sharing your insight and your experience. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much, Boo. All right, beautiful. Take care. Bye. All right, I'm gonna bring up Gaston's World, and we want you to finish this story. They're like, Sue, let him finish this story.
So we gotta get to
the wedding. We gotta get to the wedding. We gotta get to.
Yeah.
But let me real quick bring up Gaston's World. Thank you. The favorite network. Gaston, you ready? You looking ready? All right, let's go, Gaston's World. What's up?
Hey, Suzette, what's going on? What's going on? Hey,
how
you doing, sir? Yeah, this is one of those conversations, and again, I'm so glad that we're having this conversation on your platform because there's been quite a lot of traction made in a very little amount of time, and it's because of conversations just like this, the hard conversations that we don't always want to have, but are so necessary for the forward momentum or the forward motion of our community. That's the whole point. A lot of us are kind of tired of where we are right now. A lot of us are not kind of. We're damn tired of it, honestly. We need to start making forward strides. The first part of the forward motion is to be present for the conversation. And so I think that as long as not only are we willing to have these hard conversations amongst men or amongst one another, but because it's being broadcast on live in 4K, we all get to be a part of these conversations in droves. And the more that people that we bring into these spaces, the more that these conversations diverse themselves by different age groups, different genders. This Black manosphere has become so much more than I'm sure what the original authors intended. And so I'm glad that you're here. And I'm glad that we're here together and we can work together to, like I said, build up this community because it's so vital, so important. So absolutely.
Yeah, I love it. We have a lot of progressive people I've seen kind of like drawn to each other. Funny enough, Ace says he believes a lot of links your experience is a result and thanks to you also taking a Christian walk. What? Hold on. Let me see $100 super chat. Hold on. What?
Wow.
Y'all killing me in the super chat like that. Slap me again. Slap me. Thank you. First of all, Chef Coco, thank you. I appreciate your gift. I appreciate it. But I just saw, did I see $100 super chat?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Oh, there it is. Jamal Fully Love Wagwan. Nice to meet you. I don't even think I've seen your name up before. Thank you so much. A beautiful surprise.
Just like TLA said, no comment, no word.
Just straight love. Thank you for supporting and for showing love. I appreciate it so much. I'm reading all that and I'm looking up at the super sticker and the super chat. Thank you, Jamal. But Gaston, we've had some deep convo in just even the short time we've been getting to know each other through YouTube Academy, YouTube Elementary, I should say. Tell me what you're thinking when it comes to some of the, I see, and that's why I don't watch too much of it, a lot of vitriol between women in the men's space and back and forth. Is that something that must happen so that we can get past it? Or do you think that is what should I say, a sign of the problem, that we both already see each other as a problem, as opposed to let's work at, understanding each other so we can see a solution?
Well, I think it's important that, like I said, the first step is being there. If it's an echo chamber, nothing's happening. Literally, we're all just all men, all black men having the same ideas of what black women aren't doing.
Right.
The minute that we have a conversation where we bring more people in, where we bring black women in, we bring black women in who want to change. We bring black women in who want relationships. That's how we get the ball rolling. And so whatever contentions we have prior to the conversation are, while they're important that we acknowledge them, at the end of the day, you can only talk for so long in that echo chamber before you start to, or you can only talk so long in a contentious environment before you start to come to some resolutions, because we all say we want the same things. And so, no, I don't think it's a harm or a hindrance at all. I think it's absolutely what's needed right now. People can cuss each other out. People can, yell your differences of opinion. If you don't agree with me, then sure, make your own channel. Tell us what you think, and then we can go from there. But not being present for the conversation has been the biggest issue for the last 40 years, longer than I've been alive. Because in the 60s, everybody was together. You didn't have a choice.
Yeah, because of the struggle. We saw each other. We needed each other. We're like, no, we're going to make marriages work now because we had no choice. Right. But now we have so-called options, and it's going to be much more complicated. I think, perceived options that are not serving us sometimes and strengthening our community. Y'all check out Gaston's channel. I think links. I want you to finish up your story as well. Gaston, you're welcome to hang out. Hang out. Links. The people are excitedly waiting the conclusion. The wedding money came. All this came. Fiancés was done with. People got other signs. Mom even got the word. If you guys didn't see the beginning of this story, this is truly only God could orchestrate a story like this. But we want to allow you to finish. So where we pick up is getting ready for the wedding, year and a half engagement, staying pure. Oh my, that's a word in of itself. Oh my, discipline. And tell us about the wedding. Like, how did it go down? We saw God move again. Gaston, I'm going to put you in the back, please. And Links, the floor is yours.
I just as far as the being abstinent for that year and a half. Here's the truth. God will keep you if you want to be kept.
That part.
He will keep you if you want to be kept. Everything, it's a decision. And when you make a decision, you cut off other options. I cut off the option that I was going to, again, and I had the motivation from God, don't disrespect my daughter. So that was big
audible voice of God.
Right. Yes. That was big motivation. So that did it. So fast forward, God spoke to my friend and said he spoke to share with me that he was going to pay for the wedding down to the last penny. He starts giving me ideas on the job as far as money saving ideas, and I start getting paid. That very first idea, just backtracking, I was $1,000. I gave that $600, and that was a lesson to show me that He will provide. I'm just saying, I'm saying that now because that's actually just came to me now. That was at that time, me giving that money to that other person, $600, was it was hard for me, but it was a lesson showing me that He will provide. And he did that. He gave me another idea, and now we're down to the wedding day. Down to the wedding day, we go through we have the ceremony, beautiful ceremony, have the reception. It was a beautiful reception. Wedding cake. Mom made the rum cake. The groom's cake was a rum cake. People got drunk off of that. That was funny. And now
cultural note, he means the Jamaican black rum cake.
Black cake,
Jamaican
yes.
black cake. I don't know if I'm gonna have that at my wedding. I'm gonna have to have it for the culture. But I don't be eating that Jamaican cake like that. That black rum cake will get to you.
Man.
You had that. Okay, so everybody was feeling nice. This is
mom soaked the
Christmas cake that is baked in the islands. It's black. It's thick, and then they soak it with rum, and it's
mom soaked those raisins for months in Ray and Nephew's. Ray and his what was nephew. Proof. Yes.
I take Ray and Nephew when I want to sleep. That thing burned my throat. That Ray and Nephew burn up your whole inside, bro.
That stuff is medicine. It's medicine. You're sick. You have a fever. Yes, medicine.
If you don't know what we're talking about, everybody who know that Ray and Nephew will just take out every cold disease.
Yes.
So that's what they had in the rum cake.
Yes, my mom hooked it up. So now.
So celebration. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah. So we have the thing, and now it's time to, we have our honeymoon night, great honeymoon night. And we were going to, I made reservations for our honeymoon. We were young. We ended up going down to Florida for the honeymoon. And I made reservations, but I didn't have the money to pay for it. And at the reception, and folks give you cards and stuff like that. So we had our honeymoon night. We get back to, I had moved into a townhouse at the time. And we get back to the townhouse, and we start opening up, the gifts that we gotten and the envelopes. And Suzette, we open up envelopes, hundreds, 50s, 50, 100, 50, 100. We had money to pay for the honeymoon and paid probably about 3 months of bills afterwards. God paid for the wedding down to the last penny. Paid for it all.
That's wow.
So he came through. He came through. So we've been married now. This year was 25 years. 25 years of marriage. We have 2 kids. I have a 21-year-old and I have a 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah, 21-year-old, really?
21-year-old son and a 16-year-old daughter. We're doing good. And this is what you're hearing. This is the honeymoon highlight phase. We're
gonna have to do a part 2. I don't know.
Yeah, we'd have to do a part 2 because I'll just share this with you. 10 years ago, I didn't know if we were gonna make it.
What?
10 years ago, I don't know if we were gonna make it. We separated. We actually separated. She went to live with her mom. I stayed at the house, and we were separated for a year. And I didn't know if we were going to make it.
This
and
is amazing.
It was probably the hardest time of my life. She took the kids with her to her mom's house, so I didn't wake up with the sound of the kids and all that stuff. And again, in the midst of that, God spoke to me again right in the midst of that. I'd gone to a church, and this was a church in Atlanta that was known for the prophetic gifting, whatever. They trained people up in the prophetic. And this lady from the islands, Caribbean lady, called me out. And one of the things she said to me, she said, "Son, those who have called to the work of restoration in my body, and those who I've called to the work of restoration, son, I've called those to walk in the path of experience." It's called to walk the path of experience.
You can't just drop it like that, Pumwe, because we just got happy. We was on the honeymoon with y'all. Where in Florida y'all went? I was getting ready to be on the honeymoon with y'all. I was like, yes, they made it. Yes. And then you're like, we almost did it. And I'm like, no. But this is life, y'all.
We had a honeymoon. I mean, God, it was good. Within probably, I'd say within less than a year of getting married, we bought our first house. My wife she is a blessing to me. Yes. He that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. She has been my favor. She is my favor. And
you got a whole nother testimony, bro, because then to survive a year apart is a long time, and take the kids and go, and you don't see your kids in that regular basis and tuck them in and make breakfast and sit at dinner and all that. That's a whole like crazy phase. So I think also to understand that y'all survived that marriages go through bumps and bruises and all kinds of peaks and valleys, as my girl RM is saying, and that you still here. And as one who said it, I don't think God set you up, Sandy. What's up, Sandy? God didn't set y'all up through all that and to leave you again in a valley. Yeah. And there's no such thing as the mountaintop all the time, y'all. This is the difficulty. This is the thing called life that we all are part of and we're all experiencing. Yeah. So when you need him, he's there. It's not just a rosy path. I think in the earlier days, my 80s, 90s, 2000s, we were thinking, Christianity means problems. No problems happen to me. Oh my, I have a perfect husband. I have a perfect wife. I have a perfect life. No. Okay.
No.
Lucky Charms. Tricks are for kids. Like, are you crazy? Like, that's
I'd probably have to, and this is completely up to you, Suzette. I would probably have to come back.
No, we're going to bring it back. 2. Chicago Rilla Ben said part two. But I know it's getting late. And I want to
I mean, I can go,
no,
but
we ain't going to have you here for another 5 hours. I'm not no TLA. This ain't TLA. Y'all gonna have my back hurrying. I'm like, what y'all talking about? We out here. We've gone a good while. Guessing I'm going to bring you up. We're going to take final comments. Black is closed. I know this has been a very interesting journey to follow, and I want to bring Gaston's World back. He is one of the most phenomenal, not only moderators, but he has his own channel. So I want him to have a chance to also tell us about that. But Gaston, I know you good at understanding a man and a woman thing from just a short time. I'm getting a little feedback, Gaston. A short time I've talked to you and get to know you. But we're moving the needle. That's what Master Lion Tamer is saying. Gaston, what are you hearing when you hear that? Oh my gosh, we almost didn't make it to today, but we still here. What feedback?
Real quick, Links, you wanted to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say just in as a preface to part 2.
Yes,
is that and I'll leave it here. Is that marriage is the one institution, or I'm not even going to say institution. Marriage is the one place that it will show you yourself.
My cousin Ben told me that. They said you don't get the real man, not even until he's married. You get the real man after the baby come. Yeah. My older cousins tell me that all the time. All of the interpersonal problems. And thank you for that super sticker. I don't know who that is. Thank you. Doug, what's up, Doug? Doug was rocking with me on my political shows, guys. I have 2 parts of my channel. I do the self-improvement, self-discovery, all that, evolving, and then I also do a little politics because I like it. So Doug was really into my politics on the talk of the close election in Broward County. If you guys see that green looking thumbnail, that green cover art, that's the politics and law and justice side. So you'll know which shows are which. But Doug, shout out to you. Thank you for your support here, sir. I really appreciate it. But yes, I hear you, Links, in making that final point that it's crazy out here, bro. It's not a matter of if you're gonna need God and God to be the center. It's just a matter of holding on to him so that you are not unfamiliar with him when you need him, if that makes sense. Help me, oh God. So I appreciate that insight and knowing that life isn't perfect and there are no perfect people, but we can still make the best of what we have. And as you said, it don't get real. I'm telling you, not even till after the ring. They say after the baby come, that's when that man gonna show up for real. You be like, who is this in my house? This how you think, this how you are. And all the childhood, residual feelings, and we talked about pain, come back. And then you start to see the real human being develop. But anyway, Gaston's World, over to you, sir. What do you think? Final thought.
I think that, again, as Link said, he had to do some soul searching during that time where he was separated from his wife. And so nobody said it was going to be perfect, right? And I think that's something that Kevin Samuels kind of speaks on a lot, is that, just start. right? Like if you're not sure, if you're, you know, on the fence about it, you know, you have to just show up for the meeting, right? And like I said, it's so important. The most important thing that I think to bring to this conversation, this rebirth of I won't say rebirth of a nation, right? But I'll say
oh, that's a good word.
Right. To bring to this rebirth of our community is to literally be present. Be present for the conversation, be present for the relationships, be present for the people who you say are important in your life, and the rest will work out. Because as Link said, he may have been, you know, at this point where he was unsure of what was going to happen in the relationship, but he never left, right? And so often we're ridiculed for leaving. Oh, black men gonna leave. No, we don't. And, you know, just because they weren't together in that time doesn't mean he left. And I think so often that, you know, we need to be reminded that even in the absence or in separation, we can still be together. And so, you know, again, as we start to rebuild this community, I implore everybody here in this chat, everybody who my mouth reached their ears, be present for the conversation, and we can get all this started in the right direction. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you to Andre Terry for the $100 cash app. Blessings to you, sir. Yeah, appreciate it. I assume you like the content. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Suzette, I love the comment that Gaston make as far as being present.
Yes.
And the prelude to being present. I don't know why I keep circling back. Is there has to be humility. You have to be able to step down from your place of where you may think you're right. You may think you are. You may think that the other person is wrong. You're going to have to step down from that place to become present, to move into a place of unity, community, forgiveness, you know, and ultimately power, that the two of you that are men and women can experience together as a community. There has to be that humility to be able to then to step down from whatever place we are, whatever thing we think is we're right or whatever, to become present. And then once you're present, then you can move from that place and work from that place. So good word, brother.
Yo, I think we could end on that note. Final words, Gaston. I'm appreciative of everybody. Thank you to my super stickers, super chat people. I'm gonna let this man get up and go do his husbandly duties. I definitely want you back, Links. I think the marriage journey is the next part that we are all curious about, and understanding that and the ups and downs of that, and what keeps you together in those difficult times, because everybody thinks about the good stuff and everybody thinks about unicorns and rainbows and how perfect your husband is going to be and all that stuff, and he's going to solve every problem in world peace. But the difficult times shall come, and it's how we are present for and training ourselves and evolving to deal with them in the most positive way that serves us and serves our families, our spouse, in every way. So I'm grateful to my gentlemen. All right, gentlemen, y'all see it now. Look at the screen. Look at the balance. Look where the weight is heaviest. The male perspective is more than welcome here, and very valuable to my channel and the conversations we're having on this channel. So I appreciate the one Mr. Links. Gaston, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you so much. Y'all go check out. Let me give him a solo shot, and so you can see his channel. That's how it's spelled. Gaston's World. Funny guy. Very funny guy, representing for the ATL. He has some good reaction videos, etc. So definitely check out his channel. Links, they've been asking. Thank you, Gaston. I'm gonna drop you down. Thank you. And Links, they've been asking if you have a channel. Do you have a channel or anything?
No, I don't have a channel. I honestly don't have the work that I do. I just don't have the time to do it.
They say you need to break. They said you brought out the concordance and was reading from the Hebrew.
I'll say that I'm actually an ordained minister. I got ordained.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got ordained with 2021 now. I think I got ordained 2019.
Congrats.
Yeah, I got ordained. That was, yeah, I ran from that. And I surrendered. So,
that's
but I'm not,
another thing.
yeah, I'm not your everyday preacher. I'm just a regular dude. I don't care about titles or anything like that. I'm just,
Wow.
yeah.
And
yeah.
you still work corporate side? You still do banking and such?
Still, I'm in technology. I'm a VP in technology and banking. Yeah.
They're asking for your business. That's why Snuggles, hey, Snuggles was like, what does he do in corporate America?
Yeah.
No, she said, or Spoon says, no wonder I could tell that he has studied. Oh yeah, he was bringing out a Hebrew plus the the Aramaic, all that. But much respect to you, sir. Thank you for stepping out there. You definitely have a word for the people. So I know this will kind of sometimes when we do these streams, we don't even see the tentacles that it, in places that it reaches, but it's a beautiful thing. So y'all, last call, hit that like button. I'm gonna let him go be with wifey. You guys, thank you for your support. Everybody been watching, holding me down. Thank you for hitting that like and subscribe. If you want to hit the notification button, go ahead, Link. Sorry.
Suzette, if you want to, put my IG out there, they can hit me on IG.
Okay.
If you want to put that out there in the chat,
I'll put it in. I'll probably put it in the description. Might be the easiest way at this point because I'll have to figure this out. I've enjoyed this conversation. Y'all can hit me up if you can. Shows your love. Show some support on the Cash App. Thank you again to my Cash Appers today. Thank you again to my Super Chatters today. Without you, we're not building. So the community has been growing even since Monday night. Like we have had 30, 40 people come on over. So I'm just like, God is amazing. Yes, we're getting ready to get deeper. Like I said, be ready for Saturday. Dr. Tasha, one of my most watched streams besides TLA. We had over 5,500 people watch. Don't Ask Me Why I'm Single. So go back and watch that if you haven't seen it. Please Don't Ask Me Why I'm Single with Dr. Tasha. It was an excellent stream. She'll be back on Saturday on the topic. It'll be Saturday at 12. Would you marry you? Y'all ready? I can't wait.
Is that one last thing?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I'm just giving my plug so people will know. Put on the notification bell. You'll know Sunday we're talking money with Tasha from the Major Change Group. And on 1 p.m. or 1:30 tomorrow, I'll be on Miss B Finesse's show. Me and her are going to have a good sit down and a chit chat. All right. Go ahead, sir. The floor is yours.
I just, and again, I'm just asking if you don't mind if I could close out and just in prayer.
Oh, yes. We could close out in prayer. Absolutely. Oh, wow. You're going to be blown away by the chat and the feedback. This has been wonderful. Yes, I would not mind. And I actually would enjoy capping this off with a word of prayer for the people. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Father, thank you. Thank you for being present. Thank you for not being a God that's distant, but you're a God who desires to be interactive and present in the lives of your people. So I bless you and I thank you. I thank you for allowing me to share my story. Thank you for allowing me to share and express and show people that you are a present God. You interact in the lives of your people even today. I thank you that you love us. I thank you that you care for us. I thank you that regardless of whatever position, whatever place we're in our lives, in prominence in the world, where we have things, I thank you that wherever we are emotionally, if we're broken emotionally, you do not shy away from us. You are a God of love. You have chosen to direct your love to us and show your love. So I thank you. I thank you that that this conversation has happened. I thank you that that this will be a turning point in the hearers that are here. Father, I know that this may sound crazy, but you love us so much that sometimes you allow things to be broken down so that they can be built back correctly. So, Father, those places where people are experiencing broken pieces of their lives, I thank you that you're a master builder. I thank you that you are a God who knows how to restore and even in restoring, you restore us into a place where it's so pristine it doesn't even look like the place has been broken down before. I thank you that you repair the hearts of your people. I thank you that you even move folks who are experiencing pain and have experienced hurt, that you would Move them into a place of forgiveness, Father God, so that they can move out of that place of the pain, and they can move into a place of power, and they can move into a place of love. I thank you. I thank you for Suzette. I thank you for her opening up the platform. Father, as you've allowed her to be a blessing into my life, I ask that you would reciprocate the blessings in her life 100-fold. I thank you that you will cause her voice to be heard in areas, spaces, and arenas that she didn't even think that her voice would be heard. I thank you that you open doors for her, Father God, that no man can close. I thank you that her heart is towards you. I bless you. I thank you for all of these things tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you, Links. Thank you to the Heavenly Father who has orchestrated even this moment. Thank you, everyone who has been a part of this conversation. I know it will go further and reach more people than what we even know and could imagine. Thanks for being here. Y'all hit the like button. I'm out. Thank you. I'm not saying nothing else. Thank you, Pastor Link. Glory! Glory to God. Glory to God. Y'all, I hope you've enjoyed this just as much as I have. This has been a beautiful moment. And the story lives on. We can't wait for the part 2, Links. Lots of love, baby. Thank you for being on today. Y'all show some love. Links! Woo! This has been amazing. Y'all are finna go get some to eat. This is a wow. Powerful. Amen. Y'all, you already know what it is. There's things that are beyond our control. Plans that I already have for you. Plans that I'm gonna get off this thing because I won't get. Good night, everybody. Love you. Thanks, Links. Love you. See you next time. Bye, guys. Can't be talking about go eat my curry. Go. Me not know what I'm gonna go eat, but my home. Appreciate y'all. Oh, Dr. Dre Terry again. Thank you, Dre. Appreciate it. Thanks for the love from the bottom of my heart. This is again, we're experiencing this together. So I appreciate you just as moved as you guys have been by the compelling story. Links shared is the same. I'm gonna go and just not literally food digest, but spirit digest. And I always like to go by and go back and watch and just kind of think about it because it's for me too. Hello, it's for me too. So anyway, God bless y'all. Love y'all. It's not because somebody dropped some more super chat, so she don't leave. Peace and love. Peace and love to my community. I love y'all. Bye. Okay, for real. Okay, bye. For real. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that show. I'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. With Dr. Teresa. Actually, I got to call her real quick so we can do some prep. And Saturday, don't miss Dr. Tasha. Would you marry you? 12 noon, high noon. Thank you. Listen, y'all so funny. Snuggles with the super sticker. Appreciate it. Y'all want to wait till the end, but I thank you so much. I just, the comments alone, I'm enjoying the show. I'm trying to host the show and I'm reading the comments. Just like, yo, that's a good point. So it's about our exchange, y'all. It's about our exchange. So see me tomorrow, 7. This is a busy week. Saturday, 12. Major Change Group Sunday, talking money. I think we're gonna do that one early, maybe like 12 or 1. And again, much love to my moderators. Shout out to RM. Thank you, RM. Thank you so much, Gail. Thank you, Gaston's World. Thank you for the folks who have been a part of my short but very sweet journey so far here in the YouTube space. All right. Y'all have a good night. Bye for real now. I love y'all. Bye. Take care. Go have a nice bowl of rice and pizza or something for me. Okay. Love uno.